school, Buckeyes, Browns, kids in the retention pond. It must be Football Friday.
Sponsored by Tansky Sawmill Toyota.
Football is good. The Fan. Rise and grind, ladies and gentlemen. It's about to get bumpy. Time to attack and dominate. This is Morning Juice with Brandon Beam and Bobby Carpenter.
Sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
And here we go on a Football Friday, attacking and dominating our way to 9 a.m. every single weekday morning right here on The Fan. Brandon Beam, the General Bobby Carpenter, and of course our fearless leader and producer Mark the Shark. Bob, we have reached what really is kind of the ultimate Football Friday. Buckeyes put a bow on the national championship on Monday. We've been reacting to all the great things to come out of the playoff run throughout the week. We get NFL championship round coming up on Sunday. All kinds of good stuff going on here. What's going on, buddy? Good to talk to you.
It's great to talk to you, Beam. Excited for everything we got going on now, where we're at.
I'm excited to take a breath a little bit.
Yeah, I'm excited for a weekend with a Saturday with no football.
Mm-hmm.
And just to sit back, relax. Sunday, we got the celebration.
Yep.
Be sexual and violent.
Mm-hmm.
Painting was a gift, Todd.
Painting was a gift, Todd. I'm keeping the painting.
Super pumped about that.
Tell that mean ocean, Todd.
Yep. And, it's just been like I said, we're going to – I told someone Monday, I'm like, this schedule is ridiculous. By the time you get back and we take a breath, so it's going to be the weekend, and then you're going to be staring at February.
Then you're staring at the Super Bowl.
Which is what's happening.
And you're staring at the Buckeye Cruise and then your Super Bowl trip that you go on
Super Bowl trip before the Buckeye Cruise.
Right. And then right back into the Buckeye Cruise.
Yeah. So got a lot of that going on. Going to be fun. Going to be exciting. But it's just a lot. And thankfully they won, because if not, you're just staring at a pit of despair and sadness.
Months until you play the next game.
And you're just talking about how it went wrong and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
And instead, we get to talk about how it went right and all the wonderful things that went right about it and why this team was tremendous.
And we get to do that for months.
And celebrate the great players they have, the selflessness they had, and all those good things. And even get to celebrate today with Cody Simon, who's going to be on with us at 8 o'clock to talk a little bit about that. The Blocko wearer, the captain, the Rose Bowl MVP, defensive MVP, the national championship defensive MVP.
Cotton Bowl, I believe. Or was that Jack?
That was Jack. Jack got the Cotton Bowl.
Yeah, probably.
2 or 3 ain't bad, though.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, 2 or 3 ain't bad. He'll take that for a guy who really didn't start till this year. So excited to kind of talk with him. He came in this summer, talked with us.
Yep.
And
tremendous young man.
Great young man. Great, incredibly smart, and just excited to kind of see where all this went. They had a big dinner last night with the team that Ryan put together. So they're doing it the right way, and like all these guys, a lot of them are getting out of here on Monday, and so it's great to kind of be able to sit there and talk with them while they get going.
Yeah, man, we got a great show lined up for you here this morning. Speaking of Cody Simon and this Buckeye defense, got some stats to go over from this season for Ohio State's defense. They are out of control. I don't want to give you a spoiler alert, but they're pretty darn good. We'll do that coming up here in our next segment around 6:17. We got a real Game of Thrones situation going on in the NFL. We'll do that at 6:30 coming up here this morning. Our guests for today, Jackets go down in Carolina last night, 7-4. They were hot, then they were cold, and then they came back, and then they ultimately lost. But Jackets Insider Jeff Svoboda, he joins us coming up here at 7:17 this morning. Austin Ward, he's going to recap the Buckeye National Championship with us at 7:30. As Bobby just mentioned, Cody Simon, Blocko recipient, now national champion. He joins us in the 8 o'clock hour, right around 8 o'clock. And then we'll go from one linebacker right to another, because at 8:30, it is a Football Friday. A.J. Hawk, he's going to join us. So tons to get into today. But before we hop into anything, it is Friday. It's the 24th day of January, 2025. Time for Today in History.
Time to get smarter. Morning Juice presents Today in History. Here's your professor, Bobby Carpenter.
Sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Dr. Mark Levy at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP.
All right, Bob, we got lined up for us today, buddy.
It is Friday, January 24th, the 24th day of the year, Beam.
I feel like it's lasted a long time, the month of January, and has also gone by in the blink of an eye.
Well, it's amazing. It's the 341 days left, so we'll be in the 330s coming back this weekend. I mean, just stay racking and stacking. Before you know, we'll be in the 200 or down in the 200s, and that's when it always kind of gets like, okay, the year is real now. Mm-hmm. Like we're in this thing for
Sharks
a long
staring down the barrel of retirement.
Yeah, I mean, retiring forever. Buckeyes sent him out with the national title, Shark. Couldn't ask for anything more. This date, 1848, gold is found at Sutter's Mill in California, right outside of Sacramento. Thus, the next year, creating the California Gold Rush, hence the San Francisco 49ers. This date, 1908, the first Boy Scout troop is organized in England. 1916, the Supreme Court of the United States deems the federal income tax constitutional. Before that, shortly before that, we never had a federal income tax. Beam. All our dollars are raised via tariffs. This date in 1935, Gottfried and Co. begins selling canned beer.
Gilbert?
It might have been him. R.I.P. by the way. That was the first canned beer that was ever sold.
That's big time ball.
Yeah, it was.
I enjoy that.
Absolutely. You love the nice little crack. Yeah, it's delicious. This date, 1950, Jackie Robinson signs the largest contract in Dodgers history. To that point, Shohei narrowly edged him out when they brought him in, but it was $35,000. So
just a tad
just
more.
A smidge. Just a smidge. This date, 1982, Super Bowl 16, the San Francisco 49ers beat the Cincinnati Bengals in the Pontiac Silverdome for the first of two times. Joe Montana is the MVP.
It's 20-0 at the half. What I remember is making the mistake of thinking at halftime, this thing's kind of over. We're going to smoke these guys.
Late in the third quarter, Dan Buns made the pivotal play in the greatest goal line stand in Super Bowl history.
Alexander does not get in. Dan Buns is the 49er who hit him at the half-yard line. We got to go again, and that's what Forrest Gregg has already said. Go for it.
From the 2-foot line, calling signals on fourth down, has the ball, hands it off. He's been at the goal line. I don't believe he got in. The 49ers have held. 49ers have won it.
What a good one right there for the Cincinnati Bengals. Came back. Been a little short. You know who the quarterback was for that Bengals team?
Boomer?
No, Ken Anderson. Kenny Anderson getting it done. And then this date, 1989, one of your favorites, Beam. Ted Bundy was executed in Florida.
Guy. Ted Bundy, even in death, stirred hatred. An unprecedented crowd of hundreds started gathering before dawn. It took on a macabre circus-like atmosphere. At one point, the celebration got out of hand. One man was arrested for shooting off fireworks. Until the very last moment, no one could be sure Bundy didn't have a last trick up his sleeve, a legal technicality. So it ended for Ted Bundy. 10 years, 28 confessions, millions in Florida's legal battle to end his life.
This is the total number was like 35.
Yeah, that's what it has.
35, 36.
35 convictions there, Beam. It sounded pretty happy that he was on his way out of there.
Created their own song.
Absolutely. And then on this day, 1999, Offspring. It's pretty fly for a white guy. Hits #1 in the UK.
And all the girlies say I'm pretty fly for a white guy.
I really enjoy Offspring. I loved them growing up, and I've got a chance to see them in concert a couple of times, and they are good until the final drop. Some birthdays today. Oral Roberts, the evangelist, college named after him, born on this date, 1918. Neil Diamond. Get off me, I'm Neil Diamond. Turning 84 today. And once upon a time in Hollywood, Beam, Sharon Tate was born on this date in 1943. Didn't know where that movie was going.
Until about 3/4 of the way in.
Oh, what is this weird place they're going to?
Yeah, that's Charlie.
Yeah, it doesn't look very good to me.
Okay.
John Belushi, also born on this date in 1949. He passed us too early as well. Mary Lou Retton, the first...
Hang on, don't you want to hear John Belushi in Animal House?
Oh, I'm sorry, it's at the very bottom, Shark, I do.
What? Over? Did you say over? Nothing is over until we decide it is. Was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor? Hell no! And it ain't over now. Because when the going gets tough, The Toughs get going. Who's with me? Let's go. Come on.
That's a good one.
Hey, guess what I am? A zit.
Yeah. So that's a good one. Mary Lou Retton, the first women's all-around gold medalist for the United States, turning 57.
There is the green light.
The distance she gets on this particular ball is about 22 feet.
Yes!
She has done the best vault of her life. She knows what she's done now. Full twisting Sukahara. Crowd is on their feet. What a moment for American gymnastics.
I think if they don't give her a 10 here, the judges may fear for their life.
That's right. They will tear the roof apart.
There it is.
She did it.
10, the gold medal. The gold medal goes to Mary Lou Retton. Oh, what a party they'll have in Fairmont, West Virginia tonight.
There we go, Beamer. Getting it done. Mary Lou Retton. Then Misha Barton turning 39, the star of the OC. We watched that. Her final season. What a banger. Sean McVay, 39 years old, head coach for the Rams.
Tough, hard-fought game. Man, I'm damn proud to be associated with this football team. I didn't see it going any other way than us winning that game 29-28. And, I think this game in a lot of ways epitomized the resilience, the grit, the ability to overcome adversity. I love this group. I love this coaching staff. I love these players. And I also understand and appreciate how difficult it is to be in positions like this. I'm just really sad that this journey is over. This was a special season. It's as much fun as I've had. We've had a lot of special teams, but this team, there was something really special about them.
They got real close.
Got real close. And kicked the door in with old Matty Stafford. Passing away on this date, Winston Churchill in 1965 and Thurgood Marshall in 1993, first black justice on the Supreme Court. Some holidays and observances today. It's Beer Can Appreciation Day.
Man.
Belly Laugh Day, Capitol Hill Day, International Day of Education, National Compliment Day, National Just Do It Day, and National Peanut Butter Day. We know Theo loves that. And those are your historical events, your birthdays, your passings, your holidays, observances for this date. January 24th, the 24th day of the year, 341 days left remaining this 2025.
Good job, Robert. As always, Ohio State's defense was out of control this season. That's next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Traffic doesn't look too bad for the early drive. I'm watching pretty light traffic volume so far this morning as you travel on the south side, 270 at Lockbourne. Volumes are just beginning to build. On the west side, you'll find traffic still on the lighter side at Roberts Road on 270. Keep in mind, we do have some areas of construction. 4th Street northbound between East Livingston Avenue and Fulton. You're down to 2 lanes as some work there continues. I'm Heather Pasco for 97.1, The Fan Traffic.
I wish I'd gotten treated for my erectile dysfunction sooner. Men, I hear this all the time from our patients. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and if ED is a problem in your life, resolve to get it treated today and stop having it affect you and the one you love. ED is simply a medical condition, and it's fully treatable. And at Tri-State Men's Health, we have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, which means if you're like most guys, your ED will be a thing of the past. In fact, you could be having great sex within a day or two of your first appointment, and you'll likely find you're performing like you haven't in a long time. It's the new year. Resolve to get your ED treated and change your life. Call us at Tri-State Men's Health. Your initial visit is only $99. It includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. That's tristatemenshealth.com. Tri-State Men's Health, a Promenic restorative health practice.
Hi, I'm Joanna Williams, General Manager at Tansky Sawmill Toyota. Is it time for a new or used car? Visit Tansky Sawmill Toyota on the corner of Sawmill and 161, home of the Tansky Promise, where our salespeople aren't paid on commission, we have a 72-hour exchange policy, and every transaction is upfront and transparent. You can even start the process at home. Visit TanskySawmillToyota.com to start your purchase today and to see all of this month's specials. And when you think Toyota, think Tansky.
At Meijer, we work hard to bring more of the good life to your life so you can bring home more perfectly plump and flavorful produce picked for precise freshness. beautifully marbled, beyond brag-worthy certified Angus beef, and more must-have money-saving M-Perks rewards. Because saving more on local favorites is good, but bringing home more of what you love in every trip, that's the good life. We do more to make life a good deal better at Meijer.
Come cheer on the Ohio State Buckeyes men's basketball team as they take on the Iowa Hawkeyes on January 27th at the Shot. Don't miss out on themed games, unforgettable fan experiences, and the ultimate Buckeye traditions. Buy your tickets now at ohiostatebuckeyes.com.
Congratulations, Ohio State, national champions! Get to Dick's for a huge selection of officially licensed Ohio State gear, including hats, t-shirts, hoodies, and more for men, women, and kids. New championship merchandise is arriving daily. Shop in-store or online at Dicks.com with free shipping on championship product. We have everything you need to show off your team pride. Every season starts at Dick's.
Master Grillers Unite. The grilling season never ends at Billiards Plus. Come see their best-in-class grills for yourself and check out Central Ohio's largest selection of pool tables, game furniture, and shuffleboard. Family-owned and operated. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Most radio stations suck. Here's why. They don't invest in local programming. We're live and local 14 hours a day. You can rest assured that every stupid thing we say is 100% local. Homegrown dumb since day one. The Fan.
Hi, the Scott Antique Markets are back again at the Ohio Expo Center, featuring hundreds of vendors with collectibles and merchandise from all over the world. The market is one weekend monthly, November through March. Build your family heirlooms. You can find everything that gets old. Just take I-71 to exit 111 to enjoy America's favorite treasure hunt. Visit thescottantiquemarket.com for more information. Come join us at the Ohio Expo Center for the Scott Antique Markets. It's huge. It's the Scott Antique Markets this weekend.
Get charged up for big savings at Menards. We carry a variety of charging options for your cell phones and devices, from Extreme Cables to keep your day productive. They charge 2 times faster than standard cables and are available in Lightning to Type-C and in between. Plus, we've got both 4-foot and 10-foot lengths for your convenience. Now through January 26th. Pick one up for just $9.99.
Save big money at Menards.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Good morning. It is cold out there yet again today as temperatures are sitting in the teens. Wind chills close to 0 this morning. Today, look for partly to mostly cloudy skies with a high of 22. Tonight, look for a nighttime low of 11. On Saturday, look for mostly cloudy skies, high of 35. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 weather impact forecasts on 97.1 The Fan.
FanDuel is the exclusive online sportsbook partner of Morning Juice. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/juice. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Just a couple of dudes being guys.
What's better than this? Guys being dudes.
You're listening to Morning Juice.
Hey, coming up 1 hour away from right now, Jackets Insider Jeff Svoboda. That too. Svoboda. It's tough for me to say before 6:30 in the morning. He's going to join us to talk a little Jackets with him. Very tight in the playoff race right now, like 8 teams within 5 points of each other for the wild card spots. But he joins us 1 hour away from right now. I saw this on X, formerly Twitter. Bob, I actually saw Schleg's retweet this. How good do you think this Ohio State defense was this year? Because Andy Bernard would say, that muffin was bad, or that pasta was good.
Should be a food critic.
Yeah.
I told these guys about, I don't know, after that Penn State game, I'm like, I think you guys have the chance of being, and I talked, Lathan would told me before the season, he's like, my goal for the defense is to be the best defense in the country.
It's a good goal.
Or best defensive and the best defense, Ohio State defense of all time. And he's like, no offense. I'm like, no offense taken, man. Like, our defense was really good when I was here. 2 or 3 of them were, near the tops in the country. And, different metrics. Each year we were different kind of better areas. But, like, you guys, that should always be your goal. And if it's not, then you're at the wrong spot. But if you look at what they did and how they started playing, really kind of from that Oregon game on, I mean, it was ridiculous what they were able to do. And the 2 areas where they weren't, like, tremendous were third down and turnovers.
Yep.
But outside of that, I mean, they were top 1, 2, or 3.
I think they were like 50 in turnovers and 30 on third down conversions, maybe.
But they were near the top, like top 1, 2, or 3 in just about every other measurable category. And it was highly impressive, and a lot of it was due to how great their red zone and goal line defense was. But they were great against the rush. They were great against the pass. Like, they did it all. And it's really a testament to what they're able to do this year and why they were so good and how they kept them in games and played complementary football with the offense and how they tackled really well. They just did everything so well. I can't wait to talk to Cody about that. It's just, I mean, he was a prime example of it.
Yeah.
You know, he didn't miss many tackles. And
it was some. That's the nature of the game. You're always going to miss some
You're going to miss
tackles.
a handful here and there, but, like, you want to limit that number as best you can. And, man, he was good, and it was fun. And that's all these guys. Like, they took immense pride in being one of the best. And I mean, they were able to achieve it. And it was on display. You know, when they needed to get big stops against Notre Dame early on, boom. And you get the big stop against Texas at the end of the game. Caleb finishes the game with an interception. Like, they just did everything that you needed to do when you needed to do it.
Notre Dame will always have that drive. You know, they'll always have the 18-play, 9-minute, 46-second drive. They'll always have that to hang their hat on. But, yeah, they were out of control. I mean, the first 4 games of the year, Bobby, 6 points allowed, 0 points allowed, 14-7. And then you get to the Iowa game, 7 points allowed. Then you get to what happened here, this situation. 32 points that you allowed at Autzen against Eugene was the high water mark of the season.
Yeah.
That was it. That's 32 points was the high point.
They were a good team, but some of it was, I think, scheme. Some of it's just, you know, didn't get a lot of pressure up front.
Mm-hmm.
And to their credit, they adjusted the scheme and guys started playing better.
17 points allowed against Nebraska, 13 Penn State, 0 goose-egged Purdue at home, 7 on the road at Wrigley against Northwestern, 15 to Indiana, 13 to Michigan. And then you get into your playoff run, 17 for Tennessee, 21 for Oregon, 14 for Texas, 23 for Notre Dame. The stats, when you actually look at it, are pretty out of control. Number 1 in scoring defense.
Mm-hmm. Which, to me,
scoring defense is the big one.
Is the most important.
Yeah.
The only stat that really matters, Wade Phillips would tell us this. You know what stat was 100%? Because everyone's like, well, if you win the turnover margin, you have a 93% chance of winning. If you are this on third down, you have a 70% chance of winning. He goes, you know what's 100% chance of winning? The score.
Yeah.
So don't let them score points. Score more than they do, and you'll win 100% of the time.
That's true. Facts. Number 1 in total defense.
Yep.
Number 1 in total yards allowed per play. Number 1 in total touchdowns allowed per game. Usually scoring defense and total touchdowns allowed per game pretty much go hand in hand. Number 1 in opponent total touchdowns scored in the red zone. And that's even taking into account that you played 4 more extra games compared to the majority of college football.
Yeah, which is pretty remarkable to have like those total numbers look like that.
Yeah. Remember where we were at the beginning of the season talking about the pass rush, like we're not getting sacks, pressure. And that was a big deal in the Oregon game because how many times did you pressure Dylan Gabriel? Like not many, and he was sacked 0 times. Now you made up for it in the Rose Bowl when you sacked him 8 times and pressured him like 13. This team finished the season number 2 in sack yards in the country, number 2 in TFL yardage, number 2 in total sacks. So out of all the teams in college football, Buckeyes number 2 in sacks in getting to the quarterback. Number 2 in passing touchdowns allowed per game, 2 in opponent red zone scoring percentage, number 2 in opponent red zone touchdown, 3 in rushing defense, 3 in pass defense, 3 in sacks per game, 5 in total tackles for loss, 6 in passing yards allowed per attempt, and number 10 in total forced fumbles. It's just they have an argument to go down as the best defense in school history. They do.
And the numbers are one thing, and the numbers are a big part of it, but like the plays, the goal line stands, like Jack's pick against Michigan, the strip sack against Quinn Ewers, like all of the big plays, the 8 sacks against Dylan Gabriel, sacking Nico Imaliava 4 times,
cracking his helmet twice,
cracking his they had those iconic plays too, I mean the Penn State goal, like all these different plays,
the Nebraska goal line,
Nebraska goal line stand. I mean they had so many of them, and those iconic moments ultimately lead to those numbers, but you have those moments to remember because the stats are one thing. They help tell the story, but you remember those plays so much better and so much more vividly.
And it's not like you were doing it against bums either. I mean, the guys that you've faced, the teams that you had faced, this is their ranking in offensive national rank.
Mm-hmm.
So Notre Dame was 10 offensively. Oregon was 17. Texas was 29. Penn State was 28. Tennessee was number 12. And Indiana was number 2. So
read that again for me, Beam.
Notre Dame was number 10 nationally in offense.
Yeah, Oregon was
17. Texas was 29. Penn State was 28. Tennessee was number 12, and Indiana was number 2.
Who was after Penn State?
Tennessee, number 12.
Tennessee was 12. That's pretty impressive, man.
Mm-hmm.
And
so, like, you had those stats against those teams who were able to do a lot of good things offensively. Not against you.
That's pretty impressive, man. Those are all top 30. 2 of them
all top
10.
30, all top 10 teams.
Yeah. I mean, but that's pretty darn impressive with what they were able to put together and how they were playing those teams and still getting big-time stops. You just don't see it, Beam.
No, you don't. You don't see it at all. So
what you say?
What you say? I do remember talking about, this past offseason, Bob, and it was probably around spring ball. I mean, the question that we would fire at, the guys that we have on to cover the Buckeyes was always going to be, the hype train for the Ohio State defense was real, and they may have passed my expectations for what they were going to be this year. And I know that, we would ask them, like, where do you think on paper this Ohio State defense could rank in the pantheon of great defensive Ohio State history? They're right there. They are right there. Not that you needed those numbers to back that up with a performance that you were watching with your own eyeballs every week. But then you add those numbers into that, and all of a sudden that becomes a really big-time argument.
Yeah, it was, like I said, man, it was wildly impressive. We talked about it at the beginning, and it's one thing to talk about. It's another thing, Beam, to be about it.
Yeah, to actually go out there and do it.
They were about that life.
We got a real Game of Thrones situation brewing in the NFL. We'll do that coming up here in 2 minutes. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Early commuters are moving pretty well through the area. I'm watching just one accident, and it's on McGuffey Road near Weber Road, so use some caution in that area. Otherwise, you're moving pretty well on the area freeways. On the north side, I'm not seeing any problems. Hard Road at Smoky Row Road traffic here is still pretty light. On the east side, you will find traffic at 270 and Broad. On the lighter side, your main roads and freeways are pretty clear, but we can't rule out scattered slippery spots. I'm Heather Pasco for 97.1, The Fan Traffic.
Enjoy rates as low as 9.90% APR with a Visa Platinum credit card from BMI FCU. The perfect low-rate card for your wallet. Apply today at bmifcu.org/visa.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season. I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Being young with unlimited energy to burn. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text GRIT to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text GRIT to 42424. That's GRIT to 42424. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter for my friends at Affinity Whole Health. Make 2025 your year and finally feel like yourself again. Don't just set goals, allow Affinity to help you support them. The people at Affinity Whole Health, they're experts in GLP-1s for weight loss therapy, testosterone replacement therapy, and bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. So you can rock 2025 with a sustainable weight loss plan and more energy, increased muscle, and better sleep. It's all great. Get started at feelgreatcolumbus.com and turn your resolution into reality. That's feelgreatcolumbus.com.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Fast, sustainable weight loss without medication. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
If you can find a show that's closer to Buckeye football, it would be hosted by Ryan Day. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Coming up 1 hour away from right now, Austin Ward, he's going to join the program. Back from Atlanta, we'll recap all things national championship with him. We got on the docket this weekend, Big Dog. I know that you're Sunday going to go to the championship celebration. Give you some details coming up, too, at the top of the 7 o'clock hour about all of that. But, I mean, Friday, Saturday, you got any basketball tonight, wrestling, anything?
Friday night, I mean, what do you think my kids are playing for the varsity? Like,
I don't know.
Believe me,
your schedule's impossible to track down.
What is wild is they do have some of those, they will occasionally throw out there some of those terrible Friday night games. And I'm like, dude, Friday nights in practice. I'm like, Friday nights are for high school. Friday and Saturday nights, high school basketball, high school football, like your high school sports. And that's how it needs to be. We don't need
varsity wrestling,
elementary school. Yeah, we don't. A lot of those are on Wednesday, and they have some of those on like tournaments on the weekends.
Big tournament weekends.
I'm like, let's save the weekend nights for the big stuff, okay? But it's Beam. It's pretty exciting to see all that. But I don't have really much of anything this weekend. We've got a basketball game at 11 for Caleb. It's really Caleb. It's the Caleb show. McLean has a basketball game at 7. Hers is Optimus. It's more of a rec league. It's pretty fun to watch. It's not exactly the most competitive thing in the world. It's a lot of non-basketball players playing basketball.
That's the best.
It's good stuff. It's highly entertaining. I mean, you get yourself a cocktail and sit down. And
I played in one of those when I was in high school. It was great.
It is.
We won the league title, league champs.
And it's good for them. They get to hang out with their friends and like have fun. I don't even think they have practice. It's like, we used to have one of my buddies used to coach. And
don't blow a hammy.
Now it's like they're in middle school. He's like, you guys, you don't need a coach. What are we doing?
If you could drive, it would just be you guys in the gym and no coaches.
And then they're like, can you take us to get food afterwards and hang out? And so it's fun for them and exciting. And then Sunday, we have wrestling for Caleb and swimming for Caleb. Both at Upper Arlington High School.
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah, so we were going to be able to do both. I mean, I said, we'll have the Speedo and the singlet, and maybe wrestle in just the Speedo. Like,
maybe swim in just the singlet.
Yeah, that's so Courtney because some of the singlet, I don't know if that's exactly like tight enough.
It's like one of those speed suits that they wore back in the day.
It's not the same material.
It hasn't filled out enough for it to be that tight.
Would get tight, but it's just like it breathes, so it would get water through it, slow you down significantly. I go, listen, I mean, wrestling in the Speedo court, there's precedent for that. Do you not watch Raw? I mean,
look at John Cena.
Exactly. Well, John Cena wears shorts.
He does wear.
He wears the jean shorts, which I think Caleb. I go, you may want to walk in jean shorts.
Kurt Angle wrestled in the singlet.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And there's a lot of dudes that wrestle in just the Speedo too. But John Cena also wore. They get the one knee pad so they can do their slides, their shoot leg.
Yeah.
And so when you order them, they come in packs of 2. And Caleb insisted on wearing both of them because John Cena wears 2 knee pads. Of course. Why wouldn't you? So why don't you give that one to your buddy? I don't think we need the second knee pad. And so we got him at least wearing just one. But I'm like, it's like, Dad, Cena wears 2. I'm like, I appreciate that, bud. Cena's not a real wrestler. He also wears jean shorts.
Hey, the most famous Speedo guy for
Hulk Hogan wore a Speedo.
Yeah, Rock wore a Speedo, right?
Yeah. I mean, the Speedo with the double knee bed with the
it's
double.
a pretty strong look.
Yeah, the Speedo.
Rock wore the elbow pads for the people's elbow.
But the Speedo with the double, the matching color knee pads is really an elite look.
Mm-hmm.
So
does his knee pads match his singlet?
Yeah, they're all 2A, so it's all black. So it makes it's pretty good.
That's easy.
So we're gonna maybe get some tats going through there.
Sweet back tat.
It's cool. Speaking of tats, so Lathan, I was talking to him. I'm trying to get him in here. It's tough. Everybody's like kind of
dispersing.
And so I'm lobbying to get our guy Jack Sawyer in here as well. He came in because he's funny. Rothman and Ice were talking yesterday about the celebration, and like, would the guys be celebrating before the celebration? If you catch my drift,
sure.
Pre-gaming the celebration.
Why wouldn't you?
Tailgating out there. I'm like, it's Sunday, it's noon. He's like, it's never stopped anybody before. So, well, it's Saturday night. They just keep the party right on rolling. And Lathan's like, I don't know if I can have any more partying. He's like, Monday it definitely stops. But go enjoy this week, because once you guys get into combine training, it's what it is. And then you're going to be focused on the NFL and all that. And I get it. But enjoy this week. But they go, will anybody swear? I forget who's running the board.
Jack, 100%.
And believe me, and Roth was like, no, Maddie's going to put the over-under at a half, and I'm taking it. Well, we have to use the dump button. And I text him, like, there will be one. And I'm like, Maddie, you know, like, it will be Jack.
Yeah.
If he gets a chance to talk, the anytime swear for Jack Sawyer is
minus 2,000.
Yes, it's coming through, buddy. It's coming through. Like, there's zero chance that won't. Cody Simon, not going to swear when he's up there.
No.
Jack Sawyer, 100% chance he swears when he's up there.
Why didn't just do the big one, too? Just do the big out. Just do a big
and
one.
Maddie's point was, he's like, you know, you see all these guys. Remember, you know, the LeBron, the Cavs thing. You look at Jason Kelsey. Like all these different, you know, celebrations. And they're like, well, Matt's and Rod's like, well, in the summer, and this is the pros. He's like, these guys get paid now, and it's the winter. But so Jason Kelsey was up there dressed like Jafar in a freezing cold, screaming craziness.
This is Jonathan Tays during the Blackhawks celebration just went on like an all-time tirade, I think.
Oh, yeah. You know, like, it's going to be good, and it's not going to be crazy cold for Ohio. I mean, they've conditioned us to the 0 degrees now, so.
Actually felt kind of nice this morning. I know it's still cold, but it feels better than what it did this week.
Oh, it was way better than what it has been. So, yeah, Jack Sawyer, if he gets the mic, you get an anytime swear
What do you
from
mean
him.
if he gets the mic, when he gets the mic? Come
true.
on, Jack's a guy. Jack's a person of the people. You know he's getting the mic.
I can't tell you about their state of mind coming into this because it is a Sunday and coming off probably what I'm guessing is going to be a pretty robust Saturday night. I mean, I remember sitting there for hours. Like it was freezing cold and I was fairly hungover from just like, because now all the players are back.
One way to break that.
Yeah, and it's their first weekend. And so, I mean, it's like Caesar's return to Rome. I mean, it's as good as it's going to get. And so you enjoy it, you drink it up, go out, pick your bars, go into wherever on campus, and just be king for a day. You get to be king for a day. And I was reminiscing, you know, some of the stuff. I went out 13 days in a row after we got back from the national championship.
Run.
Well, it was a very strong run. Long may we ran. I got fairly sick after that because it was lack of sleep and I was going to class. I mean, it was just if someone asked,
alcohol poisoning.
Well, I think it was just the slow erosion of my body over the time, and I was working out and stuff in between. I was doing everything I needed to do, but I only go out and drinking with and partying with my friends. It's just a different friend every night. Like if someone asked, like I was going to say yes. Like, hey, can we? It's Monday night, and like, yeah, these people are getting together. I'm like, okay, you know them? Sure, let's go do it. And I had fun, good time.
Schooner night at Chumley's.
Yeah, I mean, there was always something. Like it's the first national title we'd won in 34 years, man. It was a big deal, and so doing all that, I was like, so enjoy it, man. Go out there. But that first weekend back, I mean, it was. There's this place called the Valleydale over on the east side, and they're like this private party.
Oh,
I guess someone got shot later in the night outside. But it was amazing. Then we go in there, they just had like 40 bottles of champagne.
They still got it, Bob.
It's still there. One of my friends ended up getting married there. I go, this is the
That's
last
nice.
It is. It's a great event center. But it was the first time that I had been there since we went there for this and the shooting. I remember Bob Tucker yelling at us on Monday, you know, there was a shooting there later that night. I'm like, good, I was gone. I mean, and back to me, we go in there, Beam, they had just bottles of champagne lined up. They go out and introduce us on the stage, and people were like bringing out, like spraying it into the crowd. I mean, it was insane. I'm like, it was like a rock rap con. It was unreal. It was unreal. And there was, you know, some law enforcement
Champagne
officers there.
showers that Shark talks
Yeah,
about.
there was some law enforcement officers there. I'm like, I don't know if I'm quite of age. And my buddy was like, I don't think they really care about that. They're here to keep the peace, not card you for being 21. I was like, okay, Buckeyes. And it was tremendous. It was so much fun. It was a great 2 weeks. But like remember the seniors, like they were there for like the week of it, and then they were gone and they were out, and I didn't see them again till pro day, and it just was like, man, like they're just off with life. And that's like nothing. My dad's famous quote is, nothing breaks up faster than a football team after the season. Like everybody, whether it's in high school and you're going to wrestle or play football or this or that, and like you're used to come together every day for a common purpose, and it's a big group of guys. And then after the season, poof, like everybody scatters. You go do this, that, guys graduate, they move on. And then you start back with the next team, and like you're a different team. That next iteration begins to work. And, you know, they're working on the mid-year guys now. Those guys were on vacation, going to games, partying. Like literally riding the coattails.
I doubt that they're on vacation right now.
No, and they don't. They're getting a little taste of what it is, and they think that they know, but they really don't. And so they're going to be getting back into it while the older guys rest a little bit as they get this rolling. But yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome, and so excited to talk to Cody about that and his career. And I joked with him yesterday, and even Lathan, because like Cody wasn't playing much, and Lathan had injury upon injury upon injury. And they're both fifth-year guys, Lem and Ty Hamilton. Those three guys on the defense. And I go, if I would have told you like 2.5 years ago when you're injured or not playing that this would have been your senior year and this is how it would have worked, like, would you even have believed it? And Cody just laughs. He's like, no, I told you full crap. It's like, well, that's why you keep showing up and you keep doing what you did, man, because this is how life can work for you. When you keep doing the right things day after day.
Yeah, Cody Simon's going to join us coming up in studio at 8 o'clock this morning, so very much looking forward to getting a chance to chat with him. Listen, I'd like to have a beer with a new baseball Hall of Famer as much as the next guy, but probably not under these circumstances. We'll do that under Quick Hitters next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Heading out on the area roads this morning, you're going to find pretty clear and quiet conditions, at least so far. We do just have one accident. It's McGuffey Road near Weber Road, so adjust your speeds in the area. Also, keep in mind, we do have Wright Road blocked between Riverside Drive and Grandy Cliffs Drive, so you'll need to follow the alternates in that area. Otherwise, traffic volumes are just beginning to build for the morning drive. I'm Heather Pasco for 97.1, The Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Prime Sports. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit primesportsbook.com and use promo code JUSTSPORTS for a welcome bonus of up to $100.
At Planet Fitness, we're declaring it. This is the year of getting stronger. And future stronger you can get started now by saving $28 or more when you join today. You in? We have all the best-in-class equipment you could ever need to keep stepping it up. And you can work out your way on your time at any convenient location near you. Most open 24 hours. So let's do this. Join Planet Fitness today and save $28 or more. Just $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends January 31st. See Home Club for details.
Hey, can we talk? It's a new year and I need to move on. We had a great run, but you're old now. So I'm trading you in at Great Lakes Kia.
And new Kias are under $5 a day.
That's less than lunch.
Lease new Kia K4, K5, and Sorrentos. All three under $5 a day. At Great Lakes Kia.
That's only $149 a month for 24 months.
Yes, new 25 Kia K5 LXS, K4 LXS, and Sorrento LX. Standard with third row seating. All three under $5 a day.
That Kia Sorrento is hot.
And we've got 0% financing.
But what if I'm not good enough for credit?
If you've got a job, you ride.
Under $5 a day.
Great cars, great people, Great Lakes Kia. GreatLakesKia.com. Want to take it for a test drive?
Oh, he needs to meet my parents first. To qualified buyers, visit GreatLakesKia.com for details.
Always still look at myself as a high-performing athlete, even at 40 years old. And so I want to go able to run and run fast and do things that I could 15 and 20 years ago. And it was getting to the point where the pain was starting to limit that.
Pain attacks people from all walks of life, not just former professional athletes like Bobby Carpenter. That's where QC Kinetics non-surgical treatment steps in.
And now that the pain is gone, I've been able to go and do the stuff that I love and run fast and run sprints and try to get back to where I was.
QC Kinetics regenerative treatments use your body's own healing properties to deliver long-term relief without surgery.
Now, being able to go and work out and do the stuff that I want to do and challenge my body, it's made me a better person, a more pleasant person to be around.
Don't wait. Call QC Kinetics for your free consultation today. QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
One night, one stage, Billy Joel and Rod Stewart. Saturday, September 20th, one special evening at Paycor Stadium. Together for the first time ever in Cincinnati. Tickets on sale Friday at 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster.com. Saturday, September 20th. Don't miss Billy Joel and Rod Stewart. Join our resident gambling degenerates Dave Biddle and Scotty Vegas for On the Money Sunday morning at 9.
Presented by ESPN Bet at Hollywood Casino Columbus.
All the action, none of the responsibility. The Fan.
It's playoff time, and you can take full advantage by winning some cash playing daily fantasy football on Sleeper Picks. Just pick more or less on at least 2 player stats, and you can win up to 1,000 times your money. And now, Sleeper has a special offer. New users just have to play $5 to get $55 in free entries. Download the Sleeper app today and use code SCORE and get $55 in free entries when you play $5. That's code SCORE. Must be at least 18 years old. Promo code, location, and other restrictions apply. Minimum deposit $25. See terms of use for details. Please play responsibly. Call 1-800-426-2537 for help.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother was saying he got life insurance from Ethos. With Ethos, it only took 10 minutes, and he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Cosby Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Hash browns and smackdowns. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Well, Football Friday edition of the program. Brandon Beam, Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark. Do some quick hitters, shall we?
Morning Juice presents Quick Hitters.
Sharky,
shall we? We shall.
Happy Football Friday to you.
Yes. Is this our last one, or we do that through the Super Bowl?
I don't know.
At the Super Bowl.
Why don't you ask Fish?
It's the last one I'll be here for.
Hang on a second.
You're not here next Friday?
They have a bye week.
We don't
Pro
have
Bowl.
Football Friday for the Pro Bowl.
Oh, shit.
They don't even play a game. Boys,
you think we'll talk about football next Friday at all?
No.
Okay.
Of course we will. We talk about football in May and June. We're going to talk about it in January.
Yeah.
Being a baseball Hall of Famer is great. Being a first ballot Hall of Famer is even better. Being a unanimous Hall of Famer, well, it's only happened one time.
Don't ask Ichiro about that.
Mariano Rivera.
Oh, that's right. Griffey missed out by one vote too, right?
Yeah.
No, it was Jeter. Jeter missed by one vote. Okay. Mariano Rivera, the only unanimous Hall of Famer. That happened a few years ago. Could have happened this year, but Ichiro fell one vote short. 393 of 394 voters put Ichiro's name on their ballot. The lone dissenter has not been identified, at least publicly, but Ichiro would like to meet him.
Yes.
Not to chastise him, Beamer, but to invite him to his house for a beer and a chat.
Did you watch the video of this, Shark?
I did not. I don't speak Japanese.
All right, so they have all the Hall of Famers up there. Where are they doing this press conference from? Because all of them were up there, and they were having like a big media scrum. It was pretty cool.
That was in Cooperstown.
Okay, so they were in Cooperstown for this. And it wasn't Ichiro talking, because he doesn't speak fluent English, so he's got the translator.
By the way, I think that's a lie.
I don't know if he speaks fluent English, but he definitely speaks English.
He's been here for like 20 years.
Who the blank is Tom Brady?
Exactly. He may not know that, but go ahead.
By the way, too, I mean, he looks so old. It's crazy how much he's aged since he has retired.
Is he going to play Mr. Miyagi in the next Karate Kid?
So his translator, I'm watching the video yesterday, and his translator is saying that, you know, I would really like to sit down and have a beer with this fine gentleman. And Ichiro,
the three of us,
who was sitting, who was sitting next to his translator, everybody was laughing at the comment. Ichiro's like stone-faced killer, like just looking ahead. I'm like, I don't know if that's a term of endearment or not. I mean, I know you can say it is, but that guy may get chastised and may get yelled at if you're having a beer. So I would love to have a beer with Ichiro too. I think that would be great. That's a bucket lister for me. But under those circumstances, I'm not quite sure that I would want to do that.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Ichiro can speak English well enough to communicate up there. I love the fact that, like, if you're not a native speaker, you can just throw your translator up there and act like
Bob,
you don't know.
If you spent 24 years in Japan, do you think you could speak Japanese?
I would hope I could at least order sushi. I mean, like...
I think sushi is sushi.
I understand that. that's my point. Is like 24 years, man. You would be able to communicate. You may not be quote a wordsmith, if you will, but I think you'd be able to communicate.
You can have the X's and O's a little bit.
Yeah, 24 years, Beam.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know. I listen to the Japanese talk or the Italians or anybody.
It's a tough. It's a tough language.
That is really tough.
I tried to do Duolingo for a little bit. And I tried to learn Japanese because before we had Willie, Meredith and I were planning a trip to go to Japan. Now that's been put on the way back burner. I did like 10 days of it, and they're different characters. It would be tough, but I would think that after 25 years of practice that I think I could find my way around.
I think Ichiro understands English.
My buddy was stationed in Okinawa. He goes, after a year, you pick up enough. You can
really?
Yes. His daughter went to like an immersion school there. She could speak Japanese. I'm not saying it's easy, but 2.5 decades, I think you could probably muster something.
If you guys could have a beer with any Hall of Famer, who would it be? Baseball, football, basketball?
Living or dead?
Either one.
Mickey Mantle. I would like to go out with him. Not just a beer.
Multiple.
Many beers.
I say Babe Ruth or Ted Williams, if we're allowed to pick dead ones.
It's pretty good.
I can count to 10 in Japanese.
Good.
Learned that in the 4th grade. Ichi, ni, san, shi, go, roku, shishi, hachi, kuju. When Novak Djokovic...
That's a fun fact
showing off.
You.
When Novak Djokovic beat Carlos Alcaraz in the Australian Open quarterfinals earlier this week, it looked like the Joker had a decent chance to earn his 25th career Grand Slam. But during that victory, the Joker suffered a torn muscle in his thigh today in Melbourne. He lost the first set to Alexander Zverev in the semis and then called it quits.
I didn't hit the ball since Alcaraz match, so until like an hour before today's match. Yeah, I did everything I possibly can to basically manage the muscle tear that I had, and medications and I guess the strap and the physio work helped to some extent today. But yeah, towards the end of that first set, I just started feeling more and more pain, and it was too much to handle for me at the moment. So unfortunate ending, but I tried.
The bad part, Bobby, when Djokovic bowed out and started walking off the court, he was booed by many in the capacity crowd at Rod Laver Arena.
He's the greatest men's tennis player of all time. I mean, that's facts. And he's his 25th to set the record, but you can hate him, but you need to respect him. And here's the one thing: if it's the championship bout, like finals, I would probably try to gut it out. But like if you win that, you've got to play another match, and you're just destroying your body at that point. He's older, he's got some issues. I want him to get his 25th just so those dirty Australians can shut their pie hole, and then he'll have all of the things he needs. And I'm not the biggest Joker fan at all, but I really have a problem with how people dislike him just because they maybe don't like the way he's handled certain things.
Yeah, what happened down there in Australia this week? Like they said that he wasn't good enough of a champion, and then he was refusing to do media. Like there was some sort of drama that was going on with that, right?
A radio station down there called him a has-been and all that.
The dude is playing in the semifinals.
So he refused.
Just beat Carlos Alcaraz, who we have deemed the next guy who's going to break his record after he's done. Yeah, that's crazy. It's just, Bob, you know this. It's now going to be so hard for him to get up to majors. And like the Aussie is where he has dominated. Like he had to go through Rafa all the times at Roland Garros and the French. And Carlos just beat him at Wimbledon. And did he beat him at the U.S. Open too? Like, so he's got those recent wins against Joker. And Joker like got over the mountain because everybody, when the bracket was set, was saying, all right, it's Carlos and it's Joker in the quarterfinals. Winner's likely going to win this event. Now he's got to pull out. But yeah, it's crazy that you'd boo a guy for that. I mean, he just went to a tie break in the first set, gave it all he could, and then he said, I can't go anymore.
So my point is, like, you think the guy wants to quit in the semifinals?
Right.
Like, come on, man.
Maybe they were like, man, I paid $500 for this ticket and I saw one set.
Well, that's your own problem for paying $500 for the ticket.
I don't know.
They probably talked about how he had a leg injury coming in. I mean, that was real.
Rams coach Sean McVay is celebrating his 39th birthday today. For a birthday present, He would like his quarterback, Matthew Stafford, to tell him whether he is retiring or sticking around for another year. Stafford admitted after losing to the Eagles in the playoffs last weekend that he's going to take some time to make a decision. He did the same thing last offseason, and McVay said yesterday that he doesn't want a repeat of last year. Beamer, he says they need some clarity sooner than later so they can move forward with their quarterback plan.
Yeah, we were doing the same thing last year with Matt Stafford. It's tough to kind of re-engage. They were really close to beat the Eagles last weekend in the divisional round. Unfortunately, came up a little bit short when Stafford got sacked on that fourth down situation, which basically ended the game. Yeah, I mean, you got to have answers, right? I mean, it's professional football. You need to know who your quarterback is. And if you don't have one, then you need to know the situation going in. Is it going to be draft? Are we going to sign someone as a free agent? So I get this out of Sean McVay. You just want answers a little bit so you know what the team is going to look like coming next year.
I get it. And I get it for Matt. He's played a long time. There's been a lot that's gone on. You know, he just probably wants a week or two. And I don't think Matt wants to drag this on, but probably give him one more week, and then you can start to make your decisions.
Hey, the race to the playoffs for the Jackets is going to be a pretty wild ride. That's next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Traffic is moving pretty well right now in and around Columbus. We do just have a couple of slow spots. An accident on I-670 westbound off-ramp to State Route 315 southbound. We'll have you adjusting your speeds just a little bit. Also, McGuffey Road near Weber Road. A crash there is reported. Right now, you're moving pretty well on the main roads and freeways. Again, just be aware of the building traffic volumes. I'm Heather Pasco for 97.1, The Fan Traffic.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. I want to tell you about my new obsession, Daisy French Onion Dip. One of my guilty pleasures during football season is eating dip with chips and wings and even veggies while watching the big game. And now Daisy came out with Daisy French Onion Dip and Daisy Ranch Dip. These are a game changer. As good as homemade dip, and they've got real herbs and spices. Ingredients you'd find right in your own kitchen. Next time you're watching a big game, before you do, stop at the store and grab these new Daisy French Onion or Daisy Ranch Dips.
At Meijer, we work hard to bring more of the good life to your life so you can bring home more perfectly plump and flavorful produce picked for precise freshness, beautifully marbled beyond brag-worthy certified Angus beef, and more must-have money-saving M-Perks rewards. Because saving more on local favorites is good, but bringing home more of what you love in every trip, that's the good life. We do more to make life a good deal better at Meijer.
Life. It's full of strange twists and unexpected surprises. But at AAA, it's always been our policy to look on the plus side. And our AAA Plus members tend to take the same view. Take Martin, for example. Last Monday, his morning coffee surprised him with an extra 10 degrees of Fahrenheit. Ouch! It was just the jolt of energy he needed to start the day. Later, when his shirt was targeted by the mustard on his burger, he became a proud trendsetter.
Martin, looking good.
And when he walked face first into a sparkling glass door, he was happy to provide some much-needed entertainment for his coworkers.
I'm okay.
And of course, when his car battery took early retirement, Martin felt no resentment. He knew there was a plus side. AAA's expert roadside assistance was only a call away.
Hello, AAA. Are you in a safe location?
While we can't all be like Martin, we can become a AAA Plus member and experience the peace of mind that comes with living on the plus side. Towing is subject to a 7-day waiting period. Terms and conditions apply.
Looking for a truck that can take on anything winter throws your way? Bobby Carpenter here for Germain Toyota. We got deals and the trucks to get you through the season in style and comfort. Lease the 2024 Tacoma for $249 per month with $299 due at signing, or tackle the winter with a 2025 Toyota Tundra built for the toughest conditions. I love mine. It's fantastic, and rates are as low as $299 APR for up to 72 months. Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road, or online at germaintoyota.net.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning. I'm Mark the Shark. The Blue Jackets finished their 4-game road trip, getting only 3 of a possible 8 points after going 1-2-1 on the trip. Last night in Raleigh, the Hurricanes trailed 2-0 before scoring 5 straight goals in the second period. They went on to beat Columbus 7-4. Goalie Frederik Andersen picked up his 300th career NHL victory. Kent Johnson, Kirill Marchenko, James Van Riemsdyk, and Dmitry Voronkov scored the goals for the Jackets. In women's basketball, at Value City Arena, 8th-ranked Maryland led number 12 Ohio State by 7 points at halftime before the Buckeyes went on a 15-0 run to take the lead. They went on to beat the Terrapins 74-66. Jelani Cambridge scored 20 points. Cody McMahon 14 as OSU improves to 18-1 overall, 7-1 in the Big Ten. This Sports Center is sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, give Mark Levy a call at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit him online at sleepbettercolumbus.com.
Never have I been so excited to get a whiff of sweaty jock straps. It's Football Friday.
Sponsored by Tansky Sawmill Toyota.
Yay, football, the fan. Beamer has a very punchable face, so Bobby punches it. This is Morning Juice.
Hour 2 of the program for us on a Football Friday. Brandon Beam, Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark. Coming up here 7:17 this morning. Jackets Insider Jeff Svoboda. He's going to join the program. Talk a little CBJ with him. 7:30, Austin Ward recaps the national championship game. And 1 hour away from right now, Blocko recipient, captain, couple-of-time MVP throughout the playoffs, and national champion, Cody Simon. He's going to join us in studio 1 hour away from right now at the top of the 8 o'clock hour. All kinds of good stuff to get to here in the next hour of the program.
Keeping you informed about what's trending this morning. It's time for a little re-rack on Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus, the largest selection of pool tables, game furniture, and shuffleboard in Central Ohio. And everything you need for the Master Griller.
Ohio State women's basketball, big win last night.
Bigly.
At home against number 8 Maryland. Sharkey said they rallied from the 7-point deficit at halftime. They were down 15 in this game. At one point, a massive come-from-behind victory for the Buckeye women's hoops team. Like I said, against Maryland, 74-66. Nice job. 18-1 on the season. That Penn State game, don't worry about that Penn State game. That's fine. They're at Nebraska at 3 o'clock on Sunday. Jackets at home tomorrow evening to take on the Kings. It was a pretty wild ride for them last night. They go up 2-0. And then after the first intermission, the Canes score 5 in a row. Jackets battle their way back to 5-4. And then it becomes 6-4, an empty netter at the end, 7-4 final score. Jackets go down to the Canes. A wild
felt
game.
Good. 5-4. You felt like you had a chance to maybe get back in there.
2-0 felt like you had a chance. 5-2, you felt like you were dead. 5-4, you felt like you were alive again.
Yeah. It'd been nice to get that thing to overtime, get a point out of it. But they got 3 points out of a possible 8 on their road trip, which isn't terrible. 4 would have been ideal. 5+ you would have been elated over, but you'll take what you got.
So I was just looking at the playoff standings because they do change every day. And I'm not taking into account the top 3 teams in each division. So the Leafs, Panthers, Bruins, not taking them into account. Caps, Canes, Devils, not taking them into account. We will track the amount of teams with 53 points and who are within 5 points of 53 points. The Tampa Bay Lightning and your Columbus Blue Jackets sit on top of those wild card standings right now at 53 points a pop. The Senators have 52 points. The Canadiens have 52 points. The Red Wings have 49 points, so they're 4 points back. The Rangers have 52. The Flyers have 50. The Penguins have 45 or 48. You have 8 teams competing for 2 spots right now.
Oh, it's clustered in there, man.
And the Bruins are 1 point ahead inside of the Atlantic with 4 more games played than the Lightning, too. Like, it's mayhem.
The Bruins last night won and climbed 4 spots.
Yeah.
In the playoffs.
It's mayhem right now. It's anarchy. Absolute anarchy. So
every point's critical, man.
Every point is critical. Jackets, 49 games played. They're going to be on 50 after tomorrow when they host the Kings. You have 33 games left to go, including the Kings game coming up tomorrow evening at Nationwide Arena. It's just going to be a wild ride to the finish. I mean, these teams are so clustered together that it's okay. I mean, you can lose games. That happens. You know, we get to talk Jackets every single day here, and we'll talk to Jeff coming up at 7:17 a little bit later on here this morning in a few minutes' time. But you got to win your home games, and you got to get points on the road. Like, that's what it's going to come down to.
Oh, yeah. And they've been good. You've been on a run, but now you're back at home. You survived, Beam, that little 4-game mini road stretch.
You're back at home, and then you're back on the road.
I know. Listen, I get it, but you got to get points when you get back home. Like, you've got to get to and tie the tourniquet off, if you will, and start playing well.
So tomorrow they're at home, like I said, against the Kings. And then it's the Vegas, Utah, Dallas, Buffalo trip. Imagine starting your trip out in Vegas. I wonder what Dino's strategy is going to be, because we probably won't be able to talk to him on Thursday next week since they're going to be out in Vegas. But if he...
Going to see shows, you think?
It's a good show town. It's a pretty good city for theater, among other things, if you want to... It's really kind of got whatever you want.
Yeah, I mean...
Shark was telling us about this show that he was looking at where it was just two dudes making like shadow puppets just out of themselves. Yeah. So... You remember that, Shark?
I do. I wish I could remember the name of it. They would get on stage naked and do puppets, like you said.
Yeah, I mean, we can talk to Dino in a couple of weeks about what shows he took in Vegas. But didn't Torts have a strategy? It's like, just go out. Go out and do your thing. Like, get it out of your system.
One night, go hard, and then let's go play some hockey.
Yeah, the good news is they're off from tomorrow until Thursday. So it's kind of a mini little bye week for them. But yeah, every point is very critical for the Jackets if they want to track down a playoff spot. We got the Buckeye celebration happening of the national championship game, the national championship on Sunday. 11:40, we're going to be carrying that live. 11:45 coverage begins for us on the Fan and ESPN Columbus. Noon celebration. We did get a little more details about that yesterday, Bob. The on-campus national championship celebration will be held on Sunday. Admission and parking for the celebration will be free. Parking lot surrounding Ohio Stadium as well as St. John Arena and the Shot will open at 8 a.m. First come, first serve. Stadium doors open at 10:30. That's what you got.
There we go. 10:30. That's good. Get in there. You said parking's free, admission's free. Go in there, hang out, and maybe tailgate it up, Beam.
Why not?
Get some bloodies, get some mimosas, and get ready to rock. That sounds good to me.
It does sound good. And it's a high of 34, so it's not the coldest day that we've had.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it really does. Have you been paying attention to this situation that's been brewing in the NFL? It seemed to be over the past, I don't know, like 15 or 16 hours.
Regarding what?
Regarding Liam Cohen and the Jacksonville Jaguars and Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I have not seen this.
All right, so here's the crux of the situation. Liam Cohen interviewed for the Jags job. I guess was offered the Jags job. Turned it down because he didn't want to work with Trent Baalke. Trent Baalke fired this week.
Good. Trent Baalke's
King
terrible.
Snake.
King Snake. He's not a good dude to work for, and that's part of the reason what happened with Urban down there.
So he took an initial interview with the Jags to express encouragement of the Bucs. Then he was poised to return for a second interview, agreed to a new contract with the Buccaneers that would make him the highest paid offensive coordinator in the NFL. When the Jags fired Trent Baalke, Cohen secretly went back to Jacksonville without telling the Bucs. And folks with the Bucs suddenly couldn't track him down. Rick Stroud of the Tampa Bay Times
couldn't track him down.
Well, they couldn't track him down. Rick Stroud of the Tampa Bay Times reporting, to be clear, Liam Cohen contacted head coach Todd Bowles around 5 p.m. on Thursday. So this was yesterday at 5 o'clock. He said he had been with one of his kids who had taken ill at a doctor's office.
You can't lie about it.
He mentioned the Jag situation only briefly, saying that he would look back into it. He was in Tampa yesterday, or in Jacksonville yesterday, re-interviewing for the Jags head coaching job, and now it looks like the deal is on the table, and he's going to take the Jags head coaching gig.
Well, when the organization changes, here's the thing. There's a right way and a wrong way to do this.
That seems like the wrong way.
You can't, and you got to tell Todd, like, listen, I wasn't going to work with Trent. I interviewed with him. I told him I'm not going to do it. They said, too bad. And then obviously they're like, hey, there's a lot of people around the league that are saying they don't want to work with him either.
Yeah, it's not. You're not the only guy.
So time to can this dude, can this joker. And then you got to go back to Todd as a dude. I mean, Todd played, he's coached, he's been around a long time. Bull's a great man. Things changed. They fired him. I know that I just negotiated this, but they're letting me, help with the GM search and bringing a guy that we can mutually agree on.
It's a different world than we lived in 10 minutes ago.
But you just got to be honest and upfront. And they might say, well, if you don't get this job, we're not bringing you back then. Like, this is a one-off at this point. So I don't know. Like, and there's stipulations, and you got to be prepared to live with that. But you've got to be honest. You can't be giving me this crap about your kid, or maybe
that's the craziest part.
Or maybe you show up like drunk to work one day, and it's your car got broken into and stolen, and there might be a police report floating around, but you don't know where that is.
How does that make you drunk at work?
No one knows. That's an unknown variable of why you showed up intoxicated.
Secretly whipped back to Jacksonville. 10. Said he had been with one of his kids who had taken ill, and then you can't track him down.
Specialist in Jacksonville. Had to go see him. You can't blame your kids.
No.
It's like emailing your professor. And this, at Ohio State, I asked the guy I teach with, you try to be understanding for people.
Yeah.
With things. And it's
a certain amount of times.
I can't be at class, or I need my exam changed, or whatever. My grandma passed away, or whatever. And I asked, do you ask for documentation on that? And he's like, no. He goes, if you want to lie to me about your grandma dying,
that's your own problem.
He's like, I'm hoping she's already dead at least. He's like, because that's a pretty terrible thing.
That's a pretty bad excuse.
I go, you know what? I like that methodology. If you're going to use your dead grandma.
Or living grandma.
Use your living grandma as a dead grandma as your crutch, then I hope that your grandma, that she survives your lies. Okay?
It's actually not a bad strategy by your other professor.
He's like, if that's what you're willing to do, and you're willing to, throw that out there.
Hey,
throw
man,
that
point
into the
to the
ether
sign.
At all costs. But you want to throw that into the ether, that's on you. You got to live with it.
Jackets Insider Jeff Svoboda back from Carolina. Talks a little CBJ with us next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
I'm keeping an eye on those building traffic volumes for the Friday drive, and things are moving okay. We do have mostly clear main roads and freeways. Can't rule out a few scattered slippery spots. Right now, you're slow on I-670 westbound at 5th Avenue, where an accident blocks the right lane. Also on US 33 westbound at Gender Road, there's an accident. This blocks the left lane, so you're on the brakes from Hill Road. And we do have an accident 670 westbound on the off-ramp to southbound State Route 315. I'm Heather Pasco for 97.1, The Fan Traffic.
It may be winter outside, but inside the Ohio Expo Center, it's golf season. The Columbus Golf Show is back for 3 days only. This weekend, save up to 70% on golf equipment, accessories, and apparel, even vacation packages. Test the newest clubs, compete in skills competitions for great prizes, and get a free lesson from a PGA pro. Come tee it up indoors this weekend at the Ohio Expo Center, January 24th, 25th, and 26th. For tickets, go to columbusgolfshow.com.
I'm Rick Reichert. Reichert Ford just wrapped up one of our biggest sales years in our history. So we're celebrating with the January kickoff sales event. And we're dealing. Lease a new 2024 hybrid F-150 for just $599 a month for 36 months. 0 down. Or lease new 2024 Bronco Sport for just $399 a month for 36 months. Also, 0 down. One of the largest Ford inventories in America. Over 1,000 new Fords on the ground and on the way. And it's all on sale. Plus, don't miss our 0 down programs. Available now. No other dealer in Columbus, in Ohio, or the entire country is dealing like this, period. So let's make 2025 another great year. Start with Reichert Ford's January kickoff sales event at the largest volume Ford dealer in Ohio at Route 33 and Hamilton Road, 2 minutes off 270, and at ReichertFord.com. Based on 2024 Ford report for total new retail sales, Cincinnati region. Leases on approved credit. No security deposit required. Ends 2-3. Come in now.
Get the right car at Reichert. We're dealing.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter from my friends at Affinity Whole Health. Make 2025 your year and finally feel like yourself again. Don't just set goals. Allow Affinity to help you support them. The people at Affinity Whole Health, they're experts in GLP-1s for weight loss therapy, testosterone replacement therapy, and bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. So you can rock 2025 with a sustainable weight loss plan and more energy, increased muscle, and better sleep. It's all great. Get started at feelgreatcolumbus.com and turn your resolution into reality. That's feelgreatcolumbus.com.
It may be winter outside, but inside the Ohio Expo Center, it's golf season. The Columbus Golf Show is back for 3 days only. This weekend, save up to 70% on golf equipment, accessories, and apparel, even vacation packages. Test the newest clubs, compete in skills competitions for great prizes, and get a free lesson from a PGA pro. Come tee it up indoors this weekend at the Ohio Expo Center, January 24th, 25th, and 26th. For tickets, go to columbusgolfshow.com.
Bring the thrill of the stadium to your wallet with the Love My Crew checking account from Pathways, the only checking account that rewards you for being a Crew fan. Pathways Financial Credit Union, your true financial partner. Federally insured by NCUA.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
Here at The Fan, we give you 14 hours of live and local programming every day. We care about you. We live and work in your community, except Bo Bishop. He won't tell us where the hell he is. Your live and local station, except Bo. The Fan.
Hi, the Scott Antique Markets are back again at the Ohio Expo Center, featuring hundreds of vendors with collectibles and merchandise from all over the world. The market is one weekend monthly, November through March. Build your family heirlooms. You can find everything that gets old. Just take I-71 to exit 111 to enjoy America's favorite treasure hunt. Visit thescottantiquemarket.com for more information. Come join us at the Ohio Expo Center for the Scott Antique Markets. It's huge. It's the Scott Antique Markets this weekend.
Congratulations, Ohio State, national champions! Get to Dick's for a huge selection of officially licensed Ohio State gear, including hats, t-shirts, hoodies, and more for men, women, and kids. New championship merchandise is arriving daily. Shop in-store or online at Dicks.com with free shipping on championship product. We have everything you need to show off your team pride. Every season starts at Dick's.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Today, partly cloudy, high 22. Saturday, mostly cloudy with a high of 35. Sunday, for that championship celebration, we're going to be starting off the day in the 20s. By lunchtime here, when the celebration gets underway, the temperature will be about 30 degrees. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 weather impact forecasts on 97.1 The Fan.
FanDuel is the exclusive online sportsbook partner of Morning Juice. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/juice. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
If Bobby and Beamer aren't talking about it, it's not worth your time anyway. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Coming up here 7:30 this morning, Austin Ward. He's going to join the program. We'll recap the Buckeyes National Championship for him. As for now, though,
Morning Juice presents Talking Jackets.
Now it's Boone Jenner along the end boards, and he stuffs it behind Peter Mrazek for the score.
Sponsored by Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
every Friday we head out to the hotline checking with our guy. He is Jackets Insider Jeff Svoboda. Well, Toronto, Raleigh, back in Columbus, Jeff. Pretty whirlwind last 36, 48 hours for you. How you feeling, big dog? You all right?
Yeah, Shark was just like, what time did you get to bed? And I was like, well, it was a lot later than I would probably prefer. But you know what? Here we are. Happy to be chatting with you guys.
Yeah, it's always good to chat with you, man. What happened? What was going on last night with the Jackets? You're up 2-0, feeling all right. Then all of a sudden the Canes come out of nowhere, 5. You get it back, it's 5-4, and then ultimately the final score ends up being 7-4, Jeff. But it was a pretty wild ride performance from the Jackets last evening.
Yeah, it really was. And you know, the roof caved in there a little bit when Carolina, I think, scored 5 goals in the first 11 and a half minutes of the second period, which is obviously pretty hard to win a hockey game at that point when that happens. And, you know, Dean Evison hates to talk about the back-to-backs and uses it as an excuse. And, you know, they're 0-7 in the second half of back-to-back. So if you're a coach, you don't want to dwell on something like that. But, you know, it is tough when you play a 7:30 game in Toronto. Then you have to, you know, go to the airport, fly, across the border, clear customs, and don't get to your hotel till about 3 a.m. And then then you have to not only play a hockey game that night, but you have to play a hockey game against probably the hardest team in the league to do that against, just because of the way Carolina pressures teams and their style, and they're kind of famous for being one of the hardest teams to play against in the league, just with the pressure they put on you. So, again, the coaches don't want to use that as an excuse, but I'm sure that had an impact. And Carolina is a good team, and they got the ball rolling downhill at the start of the second period after the Jackets played a good first, and suddenly there's 5 goals on the board. So you have to give the Jackets some credit for getting back in the game. But at the end of the day, it was a tough situation, and Carolina, got rolling, and that was the game.
They did battle back in there. Jeff, is there any league-wide data of how teams perform on the second day of back-to-backs like that?
I've never done the research, and so perhaps
time
I should.
to get to work, Jeff.
Yeah, time to get to work. Obviously, probably better than 0-7. But at the same time, I would guess that teams do occasionally win on the second half of back-to-backs, but it just hasn't happened for the Jackets this year. I'm sure it's probably tough at times. I would guess teams are below 500, but I would also guess that. It's been weird. I mean, I don't know that. I was thinking about this because it has become a storyline. I don't know that there's any real common thread there, because they've had some games. Obviously they've lost them, but they've had some where they've played well and just didn't get the wins. And they've also had some where they've really struggled. So I don't know exactly what it is. But it has to get better. I think they have 5 left this year, including one this upcoming week. So they'll have another chance to do it here coming up, but. It's been weird. I feel like there's not necessarily a common thread, but I'll have to maybe do some research.
Jeff, let's put the pin in the Canes game, and maybe we'll get back to that a little bit later. But what we saw up in Toronto was pretty impressive. I mean, I know you got 2 points in a couple of nights, but anytime you're able to do that in that building, especially the guys who were contributing, and a Luca Del Bel-Belouz and an Adam Fantilli with a hat trick, that's got to be one of the cooler things that they've experienced in their short NHL careers, right? I mean, going up back home, I don't know how many hundreds of friends and family members doing that in that building in the special place that everyone raves about across the league. Had to be pretty amazing for them.
Yeah, it really was a special night. And, Adam Fantilli had, at least 70 friends and family there, and to see him come out after the game and greet everybody was a really cool experience. And at least 50 for Luca Del Bel-Belouz, and those are probably the numbers on the low end for those guys. And so for those Toronto guys to go home, and it was a storyline going into the game that they were going back, and then for them, a hat trick for Fantilli, 2 points for Luca, including a goal. You really couldn't have imagined that they were going to have the success like that. And those two go way back. Talking to Adam's mom and dad after the game, they were on a lot of the same junior teams. They went to school together at one point. They've skated together a ton. So, these are not just 2 guys, but 2 families that have known each other forever, for a long time. And to have that kind of night that they could share like that was really, really cool, and something that it was neat to see up close. And not only that, but the way that the Jackets got that win. This was a tricky road trip because, you go to New York and you lose the first 2 games, but you probably deserved a better fate in Madison Square Garden. And then you knew the second half of the back-to-back in Carolina was going to be tough. So you really had to win that Toronto game. And the way they did it and get those points, it was a good sign. And, they go on a road trip here that was tough and kept themselves in the race, and that's all you can ask for. So it leads into should be a pretty fun night tomorrow night against the Kings at Nationwide.
How are we judging the progress of Fantilli over his young career so far?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're starting to see the production really step up. I'm trying to do the math in my head as far as what it's been. I think they've had 9 games since he moved up to the top line with Sean Monahan out, and I think he has 7 goals in that span. So, certainly that's pretty good. I think we've seen him as the years gone on. Last year he was a rookie, and it's tough because there's going to be just a natural rookie ups and downs. And before he got hurt, I think he was still performing pretty well given the situation. This year, he came in, and I think there were moments where, he's struggled some. The production was not where some people probably thought it might be coming into the year, just because of how, certainly how talented he is and being the number 3 overall pick and stuff. And I think they've talked about how committed he was defensively, and it has been all season. But even on that side, the results weren't necessarily there. But what we're seeing now is really him kind of coming into his own, and he's playing with top-line guys. He's producing at a top-line level, and at just 20 years old, it's pretty exciting because the tools are there, and to see it start to come together, he's just going to keep getting better and better with his combination of size and speed and the way he plays the game. It should be pretty fun to watch going forward, and so you look at that draft class, and Connor Bedard has had his ups and downs, and Leo Carlson and Fantilli as well, but they've all shown they're pretty darn good players, and I think Adams is going to be right in there with those guys as time goes by.
You talk to anyone in that organization to say that he's doing the small things right. It'll come. As we check in with Jackets Insider Jeff Svoboda with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. You mentioned it, Jeff, home tomorrow and then back on the road for a 4-gamer that starts in Vegas and ends in Buffalo. The Jackets stay in this playoff race through the end of the season and compete for the playoffs if they do blank.
I would say if they keep getting better defensively, ideally you're going to get some veterans back. Sean Monahan, Boone Jenner, maybe even Erica Branson as the season goes by. You've scored goals pretty consistently throughout the season. But we saw before last night they had only given up 10 goals in the previous 7 games. If you do that, you give yourself a chance to win, especially as the game gets tighter at the end of the year. And they've been better defensively this year. Still not probably a top half team. Looking at just the numbers in general, but also some of the advanced stats. And so if they stay committed to keeping the puck out of the net, and that was where last night they probably wish they would have done a little bit better, is when. Again, even as much as you tip your hat to Carolina, if they had been a little firmer and played with a little more structure in that second period, they probably don't give up the goals they give up. And so, it happens from time to time. That's just the how hockey is. But if they can consistently be a better defensive team, they're going to find themselves in this race as time goes by and they get closer to the end of the season.
Yeah, 8 or 9 teams all within 5 points of a playoff spot right now. It's mayhem. What's your travel schedule next week like for Vegas?
I believe we go out the day before, so we've actually got a couple of days here before we go anywhere, which will be nice. Enjoy the home bed a little bit, and then it's back to Vegas, Utah, Dallas, Buffalo. So we'll see quite a bit of the United States there.
Less sleep today, talking to us, getting back from Raleigh, or less sleep going out to Vegas the day before the game and then into the game on next Thursday evening?
We will see about that. That's a great question. You can't predict the future, but I'm sure there'll be fun had out in Vegas on Wednesday night.
Buddy, always appreciate the time. Thanks for hopping on with us here this morning. Go back to sleep, and we'll check in again soon, all right?
All right, sounds good, guys. Thank you.
There he goes. Jackets Insider Jeff Svoboda with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Austin Ward, he's going to recap the Buckeyes National Championship with us here in 2 minutes. Morning Juice right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
I'm keeping an eye on a few slowdowns this morning on 670 westbound at 5th Avenue. An accident here is blocking the right lane, so you're on the brakes from I-270. On US 33 westbound at Gender Road, there's a crash here in the left lane. Watch for some slowdowns starting at Hill Road. And traffic is heavy and slow, State Route 161 eastbound between Johnstown Road and Beach Road. I'm Heather Pasco for 97.1, The Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Prime Sports. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit primesportsbook.com and use promo code JUSTSPORTS for a welcome bonus of up to $100.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted it close to town with a picture window overlooking a yard. And you found it. Now when you sit down to dinner, you've got front row seats too. Your neighbor's daily pickleball game. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states.
Hey, fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers and Tears. Oh. Okay, so everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival on a last-second field goal. Whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Those 23 flavors are so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a big fat L. College football. It's a Pepper thing.
When you're ready to sell your car, another reason to choose Hinder Motor Company is the easy, fast, fair, and hassle-free way to sell. This is Justin Hinderer. We pay top dollar for your vehicle, whatever the make or model, and no purchase is necessary. Consider trading and get even more toward your next vehicle. Drive in today and leave with cash or get a great deal. See why it's a pleasure doing business. Just visit HinderMotorCompany.com.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Fast, sustainable weight loss without medication. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Miss a minute of the show?
Check out the podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Type in Morning Juice and subscribe.
This is Morning Juice.
Just a reminder, busy next hour for us. Coming up top of the 8 o'clock hour, Cody Simon, national champion, is going to join us in studio at the top of the 8 o'clock hour. And then at 8:30, 1 hour away from right now, AJ Hawk, he's going to join us. So all kinds of good stuff coming up in the next hour or so, including this guy.
A guy who considers himself the mayor of Laramie, Wyoming, who holds the shuffleboard record at the Ranger, and most impressive, the commissioner of the Central Ohio Two-Man Scramble League. Here's Austin Ward.
And Austin is brought to you by Awaken 180 Weight Loss as we head out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Happy Friday to you, Commish. I know that your travel issues were not the same as most of the 80 or 90% of the Buckeye fans who were down in Atlanta for the national championship game on Monday.
No travel issues at all. It was great. Turns out that electing to drive to have flexibility on Tuesday was the right decision. Didn't have to wait in any hour-long, multi-hour lines. Didn't have any flight cancellations. Just hopped in the car with the girls at 11 a.m. after the press conference and after we recorded the podcast daily. Berm and I, the last one from Atlanta, and the power was out at my house right before we got back here on Tuesday night, but it kicked back in and everything was fine.
I mean, Schlegg's always told us that the Air Force mantra is flexibility is the key to air power, Austin. So it's a good deal for you. So you didn't ride with Berm. You let Bill and Berm go together, and then you rode with the crew, the family, or everybody together.
Well, so Bill, Berm, and I all drove down together last Thursday. Talked to you guys last week after we did the daily from Ohio Stadium South there in Knoxville. But Bill on Tuesday flew to Amsterdam for a meeting, so he did not drive home with Berm. I drove home with the girls. So Berm drove the rental car solo, but back to my house as well because we had to be here for the Wednesday celebration at Roosters before he actually got to go home. So he had to do that solo. And as you know, Bob, the one issue with that both of us needing to drive back on Tuesday was that very little sleep was had by anyone on Monday night. So having to get up and do a little bit of work on Tuesday morning made that a little bit more complicated. But the good news is we all survived and made it.
Austin, how did Ohio State get here? How did this happen?
I think incredible top to bottom buy-in. The talent was there all along, and I think much has been made about how they benefited. They needed to lose on November 30th. I'm not sure that that's really correct. I wouldn't take it that far, but it did prompt a lot of hard looks in the mirror, a lot of difficult conversations. A lot had been made about the players meeting with Ryan Day and what happened in the team room at the Woody Hayes Athletic Center a few days after that loss. I think it makes for an all-time story. Like the movie, the podcast, the oral histories, all of this about what happened for the 2024 Buckeyes. Like the script almost reads like too unbelievable to be true. But I think all of these things built towards a tipping point where you had no choice. Like you're either going to go do everything it takes to win a national championship, or you're going to be remembered as one of the greatest underachievers in the history of college football. And there was no in between on that. And that's,
it's fairly binary, Austin.
I mean, but right, Bob. I mean that the storylines had been set up by everybody else. The fact that Ohio State talked about, and had put a number on what the roster cost. You saw like national narratives forming throughout the offseason. Ohio State acquired an all-star team. They built they're the NIL champions. There are even people trying to somewhat discredit what Ohio State did after winning the national championship. There was a story, this one, I think it was on The Ringer that I read earlier in the week, calling them the first NIL national champions. Like, what are you talking about? People are still not giving the proper credit to, Beamer asked the question, you go back a year, Jack Sawyer, Emeka Ibuka, JT Tuimoloau, Denzel Burke, Lathan Ransom, Cody Simon, Donovan Jackson. How did they get here? They had a bunch of really good players decide to stick it out. Yes, there was some financial incentive to do so, but also there was a motivation to accomplish something. So we could spend 6 hours talking about how Ohio State got here and how they achieved that. And it's impossible to narrow it down to just one thing.
Yeah, it is really tough. As we talked to our guy, Austin Ward, A-Ward Sports, go for him a follow on Twitter. And, when you see that, Austin, the envious ones say that. And, I know they made a lot of the $20 million roster, but there was a number of rosters that were at, near, or above, where that money was spent. So I understand it. But like you said, most of it was homegrown talent. The two transfer offensive linemen they had were not a part of the game and a part of the run. Yes, you had Quinshon Judkins, and you had Caleb Downs, and you had Will Howard. But, outside of that, Will Kazmarek came in, and, he was hurt a majority of the year. It was largely indigenous talent that had been grown here at Ohio State and had done a great job. Yes. So I 100% agree with you. And you were there for that press conference, as you mentioned. The theme, the mood, who all was involved in that. I fortunately got out of there and was able to make a flight before that press conference happened. But what was that like, seeing those guys the day after?
They did an amazing job considering the circumstances, which is a very late night. You want to celebrate. So Ryan Day, Will Howard, and Cody Simon, who will be in the studio with you guys here shortly, they rolled in a little before 9. Interestingly enough, Berm was not there, so not everybody.
Why not?
He said the alarm didn't go off. It's weird how those things can sometimes happen after a late night.
My alarm went off at 5:30.
I know you made it. Hey, I was down there so that I had set up the camera and the live stream, so I made it down in time for the press conference, which is great. But it was. They weren't showing any real signs of fatigue, and Will said that sleep is for the weak, and that got a great chuckle from everybody who was down there in the room. There was one time where he was, I don't remember who was asking what question, or Ryan Day was talking, and Will Howard just looks over at the trophy is on his right, and he just stares at it for like 15 seconds, and then he sticks out his finger and just touched it, stroke the trophy for like a couple seconds for just no reason. It was like, is this real? Am I really a national championship quarterback? I think that those moments, like, I might remember that, seeing him do that just as much as I remember the throw to JJ to win the game. There's that, and Ryan Day holding up that trophy, whenever it was, about 8 hours before that, during Carmen, Ohio, on the platform at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Those are the ones that are sort of already burned in my brain that I'll never forget. And I hope that all those guys had a chance. They say it's, kind of like your wedding. It's a blur. You want to take mental pictures so you can remember it because it happened so fast. Like, I hope that they are all able to do some of that. And maybe Cody's got some of those stories as well for you guys in a little bit.
There was a great question that came out of the chat here on YouTube, and Bill was asking this, and it popped into my head. And we talked about this, in the immediacy after the game, and on Wednesday, we were doing the Rooster show. How long do the players have at Ohio State to get in the portal after the game, should they have not chose to do so prior?
Yeah, the deadline for both the transfer portal and the NFL draft, they have 5 days after the game. So right now there's a ton going on behind the scenes. It's kind of unfortunate the way the calendar winds up working for teams that win the national championship, or if you lose them. I mean, Notre Dame has lost 2 starting offensive linemen already this week to the portal, and you have Al Golden going to the Cincinnati Bengals.
I think that was a done deal beforehand.
Yeah, sure, but that's also happening with 3 different programs trying to hire Jim Knowles right now. So all of this is happening in the immediacy after winning. You want to celebrate. Ohio State's national championship, celebration is still 2 days away in the Horseshoe on Sunday. But that stuff is all happening right now with portal decisions and the NFL draft deadline. Both of those extended for Ohio State, and you're going to start seeing that by the end of today for one deadline and the end of tomorrow for another.
How many hours do you think Mark Pantoni's putting in over at the Woody right now, Austin?
Oh, they're over
24.
there.
I know.
24. I mean, I think, his schedule right now is nothing but hearing from agents and trying to, build the 2025 roster. That this is the time crunch that they're under. They don't get a chance to breathe. They have to work on that immediately. And I think this is yet another reminder. It's not a complaint. Like, if you win a championship, you're probably going to do whatever it takes. But it is one more thing to throw into the bucket of why the college football calendar is so broken and unfair to the people that are involved. And I'm not just talking about, these coaches are well compensated, they should be able to deal with it. The players shouldn't have to be immediately shifting to 2025. They should have a chance to, whether they're staying or going, they should have a chance to breathe. They shouldn't have to make a decision between skipping their national championship celebration and going to enroll at a new school. It's broken. It must be fixed. And Bob and I talked about this in Atlanta and throughout the last month on the road. It's not even that difficult to move it up to week 0 and to make sure that the playoff happens, in the middle of December and the semis are on January 1. The fix is not that complicated. And the people that run college football have to stop burying their head in the sand about the way the calendar is set up.
Austin, always appreciate the time. Thanks for hopping on with us here this morning. Have a great open weekend, and we'll check in again next Friday, all right?
Open weekend. What's that? See you guys.
There it goes. Austin Ward with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Some call it a bye weekend. If you say a bye weekend to those people, they get mad because it's technically an open weekend. We're going to get Juice next. Morning Juice right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
I'm keeping an eye on a few slowdowns this morning on 670 westbound at 5th Avenue. An accident here is blocking the right lane, so you're on the brakes from I-270. On US 33 westbound at Gender Road, there's a crash here in the left lane. Watch for some slowdowns starting at Hill Road. And traffic is heavy and slow, State Route 161 eastbound between Johnstown Road and Beach Road. I'm Heather Pasco for 97.1, The Fan Traffic.
Hey, can we talk? It's a new year and I need to move on. We had a great run, but you're old now. So I'm trading you in at Great Lakes Kia.
And new Kias are under $5 a day.
That's less than lunch.
Lease new Kia K4, K5, and Sorrentos. All 3 under $5 a day. At Great Lakes Kia.
That's only $149 a month for 24 months.
Yes, new 25 Kia K5 LXS, K4 LXS, and Sorrento LX. Standard with 3rd row seating. All 3 under $5 a day.
That Kia Sorrento is hot.
And we've got 0% financing.
But what if I'm not good enough for credit?
If you've got a job, you ride.
Under $5 a day.
Great cars, great people, Great Lakes Kia. GreatLakesKia.com. Want to take it for a test drive?
He needs to meet my parents first. To qualified buyers, visit GreatLakesKia.com for details.
Welcome to the plus side, where a AAA Plus membership means that an empty gas tank won't keep you from a full day, and where a dead battery can't stop you from being the life of the party. Because on the plus side, roadside mishaps don't have to ruin your day. With AAA Plus, tire changes, battery swaps, and emergency fuel are just a tap away. AAA gets to you faster, and if you need a tow, we'll take you further. Become a member today and experience peace of mind on the plus side. Towing is subject to a 7-day waiting period. Terms and conditions apply.
To understand what makes Diamonds Direct so different than other jewelry stores, you have to go back 60 years, when a diamond cutter became well known for his exceptional craftsmanship. His diamond cutting business flourished for decades. Then his sons got involved and started selling these exceptional diamonds to upscale jewelry stores here in America. After a few years, these wholesalers decided to change the game and started selling these precious diamonds direct to the public at the same prices they had sold to the jewelry stores. The no middleman concept became an instant success, and Diamonds Direct was born. Today, Diamonds Direct provides that extraordinary value to people all over America, leading the industry with the highest quality diamonds that still come straight from the best cutters, offered at the guaranteed best prices, period. Diamonds Direct, a truly revolutionary concept with a unique history, rooted in quality, committed to excellence, and always focused on value. Proud to call Buckeye City home. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
Welcome to Nada Yada Island.
Next on Metro's Nada Yada Island podcast.
I almost fainted when the 4 new bombshells arrived. 4 free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G phones at Metro.
No way.
And finding out the 4th line is free. Oh, things got heated.
That's wild. Join Metro and get 4 free Samsung 5G phones. Only at Metro.
Plus tax. Bring 4 numbers and an ID and sign up for any Metro Flex plan. Not available currently at T-Mobile or been with Metro in the past 180 days.
Football season is here, and we have so much stuff. One station isn't enough. Find even more pigskin on ESPN Columbus.
Set your second preset to AM 1460 or 97.1 FM HD2, or listen on the Fan app.
Your home of the Buckeyes, the Fan.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Cosby Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Panic and passion. Is that a motivational quote or the title of an adult romance novel? You're listening to Morning Juice.
A reminder coming up, top of the 8 o'clock hour. Buckeye, national champion, Block O recipient, Cody Simon. He's going to be in studio with us. He actually gets to hang out with Shark for the next 15 minutes or so. He's in there. He's getting to fulfill a lifelong dream of his. It's a lifelong dream for me, hanging out with Shark every day.
What's got you juiced?
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
All right, Bobo, big Friday. Buckeyes coming off a national championship run for the ages. Got a bye weekend this weekend or an open weekend. Not a whole lot going on. Celebration on Sunday. What's got you fired up, big dog?
It is a bye weekend for me, and that's what's got me juiced, Beam. I've had a lot of stuff going on. Just running on a treadmill, following these guys around. Finally, I get to come up for air. And
how do you think they feel?
Oh, yeah. Believe me, I know that those guys they've got a lot going on. I got a little bit going on today that still has me juiced in a positive way, going down Beam to the Fairfield County Workforce Center.
Okay.
I believe Jack Sawyer's mom is a part of that as well. And so doing some recruiting for our Carpenter Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electric. Go down there, talk to some of their fine students, and give them some life lessons.
All right.
Talk to them a little
What's
bit about
the theme
company.
today?
Oh, Beam, it's for you when you're young. When you're young, it's always time. Always time. How are we going to use the time? How are we going to use the days that we get? You know, one day you're going to be old. And I always look around like every single one of your instructors would die to go back and probably be 17 or 18 years old again. So time is the most precious commodity in the world. It cannot be bought, sold, or traded. We try. we try. When you and Mary want to go out, you get a babysitter to watch Billy. You pay people to mow your lawn. You pay people to do your laundry, whatever you can afford. You try to have people do other things that you don't have to do so you can get more time. But at the end of the day, you only get 24 hours, and it's how you choose to spend those 24 every day.
Unless you're Justin Timberlake in that one movie where time is the currency.
Well, and that's also true, and you can trade it. But in real life, you cannot.
That's true.
That's why it's the most valuable currency. It cannot be bought, sold, or traded. And it's a commodity that's amazing. So I like to throw that out there. And we got Cody Simon coming in here. 5 years of his time was spent at Ohio State. Him, Lathan Ransom, Ty Hamilton.
Thousands of hours.
Guys on the defense, some fifth-year dudes. I mean, it's amazing to see how they chose to spend it and how their story gets to be told. And how at some points, Beam, it probably didn't seem like the story was going to end in a great way, let alone the way that it did. And so that has me juiced, the fact that they get to walk off as champions and get to walk off from Ohio State, enjoy it, talk to them about all the great stuff. But an open weekend for me, just a little bit of kids' sports. I'm pretty fired up about that, being able to relax, sit back. I may actually rewatch the Ohio State game tomorrow.
I've had it on through the week. I've turned it on for a quarter here and a quarter there.
Yesterday.
Yeah,
I haven't. I talked to my dad about it, and he was giving me his breakdown of a lot of things that happened and his opinion on it.
So William didn't get to watch it because he was in bed.
Yeah.
So we've been right before lunch and nap time. I've been throwing on 5 to 8 minute chunks of the game, so we can live that together, and he gets to experience it. Yeah, it's been cool.
So being at the game, you don't get to see it. So I want to go back and be able to watch it and just take a look at everything from a different light and just relive one more time. And then they have the celebration on Sunday. Yep. And these guys have been celebrating the entire time. And all of that, Beam, well, that's got me juiced. Shark, what's Schleig's got to say?
High GSF. Give a crap factor, but substitute the C for a word that starts with an S, okay? So everybody, yes, use that, right? Because that's how I look at people. What's your GSF?
There have been players on teams that were opposing the Chiefs who have complained that it's us against the officials.
PJ Hujimazada.
There have been memes on social media showing officials wearing Chiefs colors and Chiefs patches.
It gets pretty intense, too. Some of this new AI stuff that's going on. I mean, there are some pretty aggressive Chiefs and refs things on the internet.
Fans all over the country have been talking about all the calls that Mahomes gets. Well, our guy Hembo talked about it yesterday on the Greeny Show.
They're on an 8-game winning streak in the postseason. And I simply looked at the penalties that they've committed and their opponents have committed. Total accepted penalties over that span. The Chiefs have had 30. Their opponents have had 55. I then isolated those penalties to get rid of pre-snap stuff and things that aren't obviously going to be any different depending upon the opponent. The Chiefs have been called for a defensive holding once. Their opponents 6 times. When it comes to roughing the passer, the Chiefs have been called for 0 roughing the passers. Their opponents have been called for 6. Lastly, I looked at unnecessary roughness. The Chiefs, over their last 8 playoff games, of course, all wins, have been whistled once for unnecessary roughness, and their opponents for 4 of those. So when you just look at roughing calls, whether it be roughing the passer / unnecessary roughness, it is Chiefs 1, their opponents 10. I would have to imagine that there is at least a small contingent of our audience screaming into the radio right now, I knew it.
Now, that doesn't necessarily prove that
they're just so disciplined.
Bad calls.
They're just so disciplined, the Chiefs.
Maybe the Chiefs are really good at drawing.
Didn't that sound penalties? Like a TED Talk from Hembo?
Yes,
it sounded like he was on a stage giving a TED Talk. That's my guy. I love
Maybe
that.
They're
love him.
Very good at not committing penalties, but it does seem a little lopsided. I thought about this morning. My father died in 2001 at the age of 64. He lived for 23,614 days.
What got you thinking about
I
this?
am also 64. I've been alive, counting today, for 23,573 days. So in 42 days, I will have had a longer lifespan than my father had. I hope I didn't jinx
You know what my grandma used to say, Shark, don't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Didn't we have that situation with Shane Bieber as the opening day starter this past year?
Exactly.
Didn't we do that? Didn't we learn our lesson?
That was the kiss of death.
Shark, I want you to make it till your retirement.
Don't make it the actual kiss of death, Shark. Don't do that.
42 days I have, and then I could have outlived my father. Speaking of that, though, having said all that, my stepfather, the man that I grew up with since I was just under the age of 5. He turns 90 tomorrow. Nice. So all the siblings and some of the grandchildren, we're all getting together tomorrow night.
In Ashland?
In Belleville, which is about halfway between Ashland
You guys
and
going to the
Columbus.
Black Dog Tavern right up there on the hill?
No, we're going. I don't remember the name of the place we're going.
Going to the Black Dog.
Sleepy Shark.
Sweet. You'll like it.
Shark.
You'll like it in there. It's really cool.
The Black Dog.
Yeah. It's right by a golf course. It's on a golf. It's actually the golf course's restaurant.
We're not going to do that, Bean.
Okay. You're missing out, I'm telling you.
But
the
anyway,
restaurant's great.
That has me juiced. What has you juiced?
Oh, what's got me juiced? I'm pretty excited as well with you guys to be celebrating the national championship here this week. Meredith got her national championship gear delivered yesterday, and she was wearing it to school. So she had ski club last night, and she goes...
Did she get the red or the
She got the black one. Yeah, she got the black, what these guys were wearing in the locker room after the game. So it looks pretty sharp. I've got a hoodie from 10 years ago, the one with the big trophy on it, and it looks pretty similar to it. So it's pretty cool. I know she was excited to wear that today to work. So that's got me all kinds of fired up. Like I said, watching the increments of the game with Willie this past week has been fun. He doesn't know what he's watching, but he knows that he's watching the Buckeyes because he says, "Go Bucks." When you say OH, we're finally stringing together IO. That's been a big development in the last couple of weeks. And then he's been hanging out and watching the game with Brutus. Like I said, doesn't really know what's going on other than when Dad lifts him up and runs around for an Ohio State touchdown. Then he likes that. He likes when we score some points. So that's been really cool. Enjoyed that. Got to hang out with him a lot last night. We've been pretty good. He wants to help in the kitchen. He's not really a help. He's more of a detriment, but he wants to pour everything out. So like I'll set up a little sheet pan for him and then get 4 or 5 different cups out, Bob, put some water in there, and he just thinks he's, I don't know, a mixologist or whatever, pouring the water into a different cup. He drinks out of all of them, so then you got to wash them afterwards. But it was pretty cool getting to hang out with him all day yesterday. And then I'm super excited to watch the rest of Gladiator 2. We started it the other night.
I mean, how do you start that and not finish?
Well, because Mare's never seen the first Gladiator. So then she was asking a bunch of different questions, and I was pausing it because I didn't want to miss anything that was going on in the movie. So we got about like 45 minutes in before I feel like it's about to take off. So I'm excited to finish that tomorrow.
How long is the second one?
2 hours and 20 minutes, maybe?
It could have been 4. They left a lot out.
I feel like they are leaving a lot out.
It's flying. They're making a third, I heard. Maybe Billy grows up to be Brian Flanagan.
Ooh, yeah, he could do that.
Brian Shark might know who Brian Flanagan is.
Maybe he can grow up to be Lucius's son if he has one.
Brian Flanagan is Tom Cruise.
In Cocktail.
Yeah.
Well, that too. I mean, because he is our mixologist there. But anytime you have a drink that's not water, but it is clear, whether it is a spirit or not, he always tries to grab it. I'm like, don't do that. That's Dad's Russian vodka. Cody Simon, Buckeye, Block O recipient, national champion. He joins us in studio next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
An accident this morning has caused the closure of I-71 on the north side. The southbound lanes are blocked between Cook Road and North Broadway, so you're stopped from Morse Road. Also an accident on the West Outer Belt. I-270 southbound at Roberts Road has the 2 left lanes blocked, so you're stop and go from Cemetery Road. On US 33 westbound at Gender Road, there's an accident in the left lane, and we do have an accident on I-71 on the north side, southbound at Hudson Street. I'm Heather Pasco for 97.1, The Fan Traffic.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here, and the action is heating up this playoff season at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Lock in your touchdown picks. Check out trending parlays. Increase your winnings with profit boosts. New customers can get up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if your first bet doesn't win. And unlock 30 days of ESPN Plus. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app. Sign up with the promo code radio to get started today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
I'm Rick Reichert. Reichert Ford just wrapped up one of our biggest sales years in our history. So we're celebrating with the January kickoff sales event. And we're dealing. Lease a new 2024 hybrid F-150 for just $599 a month for 36 months. 0 down. Or lease your 2024 Bronco Sport for just $399 a month for 36 months. Also, 0 down. One of the largest Ford inventories in America. Over 1,000 new Fords on the ground and on the way. And it's all on sale. Plus, don't miss our 0 down programs. Available now. No other dealer in Columbus, in Ohio, or the entire country is dealing like this, period. So let's make 2025 another great year. Start with Reichert Ford's January kickoff sales event at the largest volume Ford dealer in Ohio at Route 33 and Hamilton Road, 2 minutes off 270, and at ReichertFord.com. Based on 2024 Ford report for total new retail sales, Cincinnati region. Leases on approved credit. No security deposit required. Ends 2-3. Come in now.
Get the right car at Riker.
We're dealing.
At Planet Fitness, we're declaring it. This is the year of getting stronger. And future stronger you can get started now by saving $28 or more when you join today. You in? We have all the best-in-class equipment you could ever need to keep stepping it up. And you can work out your way on your time at any convenient location near you. Most open 24 hours. So let's do this. Join Planet Fitness today and save $28 or more. Just $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends January 31st. See Home Club for details.
Everyone deserves a fast and reliable connection. One that helps better their everyday through the things they value most. Friends and family, education and career. A connection that opens pathways to opportunity and builds roads to a better future. At Spectrum, we're committed to delivering just that every single day. Because with the right connection, anything is possible. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it. Did you know that 1 in 4 people seeking treatment for ED are under 40? So you're not alone. And even better, Hims can help. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/joy. It all starts with an online intake form. From there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. Through hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. hims.com/joy.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan.
Good morning, I'm Mark the Shark. Thanks to goals from Kent Johnson and Kirill Marchenko, the Blue Jackets were sailing along with a 2-0 lead after one period in Carolina, but the Hurricanes scored 5 goals in a span of 8 minutes, 46 seconds of the second period. 3 of the goals came in a span of 82 seconds. Carolina went on to beat Columbus 7-4. Seth Jarvis had 2 goals and 2 assists for the Canes. In basketball, at Value City Arena, the 12th-ranked Ohio State women trailed number 8 Maryland by 15 points in the second quarter, but rallied in the second half to beat the Terrapins 74-66. Jelani Cambridge led the way with 20 points and 8 rebounds as the Buckeyes improved to 18-1 overall, 7-1 in the Big Ten. In golf, Lanto Griffin and Ludwig Oberg share a 1-stroke lead after 2 rounds of the Farmers Insurance Open at Torrey Pines outside San Diego. Both are at 6 under par. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Are you working? Because we barely are. It's Football Friday.
Sponsored by Tansky Sawmill Toyota.
Your home for football and quiet quitting. The Fan. Beam has a baby face. Bobby has soft hands. That should not stop you from listening to this show. This is Morning Juice.
Hour 3 of the program for us on a Football Friday. Brandon Beam, Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark, joined in studio momentarily by Buckeye National Champion Cody Simon. Coming up here at 8:30 this morning, we go from one linebacker to another. AJ Hawk, he joins us to talk about tracking down the Buckeyes for the last month or so.
Keeping you informed about what's trending this morning. It's time for a little re-rack on Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus, the largest selection of pool tables, game furniture, and shuffleboard in Central Ohio. And everything you need for the master griller.
Now joined in studio by Buckeye Blocko recipient, captain, couple-of-time MVP through the playoffs, and ultimately national champion. He is Cody Simon. Cody, thanks for the time. Always appreciate it. Big congratulations to what you and your guys accomplished, not only on Monday evening, but all the way through here this season. Unbelievable job out of you guys by getting it done ultimately Monday down in Atlanta. Thanks for some of the time.
Oh, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
So, Cody, describe the last 4 weeks. I mean, you've been playing college football now. It's your 5th season, and never has there been this playoff. And to be able to go and survive and advance. I mean, I'm sure there was something that was very unique. Of 4 teams, one thing, but to play 4 games, just running on that treadmill here the last 4 weeks.
You know, I mean, it was definitely unique. I mean, I haven't really been used to that kind of schedule, but you know, I think we this last month and a half has just been a whole bunch of growing closer to your team and a bunch of just grinding and just getting better. And I think that's really what ultimately helped us was we got better throughout these last weeks, and that allowed us to hoist a trophy.
How was it for you guys being able to recover? Because, you know, we talked to Jim Tressel leading into the game. We had talked to Urban Meyer. Is a very different beast than what it had been, right, Bob? You had 39 days off or 40-some days off in between the time that you played in your last game against Michigan and then into the national championship game. Different in the 4-team playoff. You get a little bit of a rest, and then you go in. You guys, I was tired just watching the games and cheering on, and I feel like a lot of Buckeye Nation was. I can't imagine what it was like for you guys, not only getting ready to play in the games from the mental side of things, but the physical side as well, from trying to get ramped up for a game it's either do or die.
Yeah, you know, it's definitely like a process of recovery, and I think our training set does one of the best jobs you could possibly do. Where it's recovery, it's, you know, get the game plan, but it's also like that emotional recovery, and you're tired from watching the games, and you know, I'll get tired of watching film sometimes. Like, oh my gosh, you got another matchup game, because we talk about matchup games. It's like it's a big emotional battle, and to have 5 back to back, it's you really have to train yourself to flush the next game or flush the game behind you and keep going and find new ways to achieve success and really just make a difference and make plays. And you know, there were times I felt like I got myself fatigued too, just mentally. But you know, when you're able to practice with your brothers and go out there and compete, and you really have that goal in mind, you know, it really put things in perspective and go out to win a national championship.
You have a favorite play from the last 4 games? It could be one of you. Let's do a favorite play maybe that you made, and maybe a favorite play that you got to watch from one of your teammates.
Well, I think favorite play that maybe I made was one of the Oregon plays. I think really not even I think it was my first tackle against Oregon.
When Nico used your helmet to crack his own?
No.
Twice,
I still think I could have made a better play for that one, too. But I think the Oregon, the first defensive play, I had a TFL, and I think I wanted to be able to set a tone for that game. And I think getting a 3-and-out in that drive really put us in the right path to be successful, because we were already up 7-0. And, I mean, I think that kind of launch padded us to you know, a really good victory for our program. And then favorite play to watch was 100% Jack's touchdown. I mean, I didn't want to give away scheme, but my job was just to get the guard and give him the one-on-one. And I saw him turn the corner, and it's all just a blur after that moment. I feel like every Buckeye fan kind of has the same kind of moment where it's like, what just happened? And he's running down the sideline. I'm just like, I don't know what's going on, but I just want to chase him and get him.
So you did run. I mean, Caleb just sat there, saw his dude, took a knee.
That was a loaf.
That was a loaf. Sustaining loaf.
But I don't blame him for it, because that was the most tired I've ever been, and you know. But it was an awesome moment. I'll live that forever.
The problem is, after I tell everybody, the defensive score is phenomenal. But the problem is you run off and everybody's so juiced, like, hey,
right back on.
We got to go back out, and you got to get a stop.
Yeah, I've never been more tired sitting on that bench. Me and Sonny were just gassed, because we did the whole 100-yard run and trying to block the number 26 who was chasing after him. So, I mean, it was
a celebration at the end, too.
It was electric, though, and I love that moment for Jack and just for Buckeye Nation as a whole.
That's pretty amazing. So, I mean, the constant theme for you guys, not only in your backer room, and, you know, we've talked to James a lot, and Jim Knowles has said it, and you guys have said it. So you give us an inch and we'll defend it.
Yeah.
When that game against Texas is tied, and it's 1st and goal, because there was a couple of holdings or pass interferences that got them down to 1st and goal at the 1-yard line, I think. JT makes a great play. I think it was either Tyleek or Ty on the inside too. Okay, that's a TFL. Boom, it's 2nd and goal. They run the pitch play. Caleb and Lathan come in like rocket ships.
Yeah.
3rd down, Jack gets a stop there, and then that 4th down play ultimately happens. What are you guys saying? Because I know it's been your mantra, right? Give us an inch, we'll defend it. Yeah. When you guys when Texas gets down in the red zone, what's the thought behind that 1st and goal at the 1-yard line?
I mean, part of the time we kind of like the red zone because you can't get any more first downs, but you know, it's really just put the ball down. Like, it's all we need is one play. And I think Coach Knowles has put that mentality into our brains, into our minds of, like, it doesn't matter what the situation is. Whenever the ball's on the field, you have a chance to make a play. And, I mean, that when you give us an inch and we'll defend it, like, we take that seriously. And, I mean, it showed up multiple times this season, and it was a big part of our season, I think, because, if we don't get that stop against Nebraska or Penn State, I mean, this is a completely different conversation we're having, and I think that mentality really carried us through some of those tough moments on defense, and you never know what can happen, and the greatest thing possible happened. So it's a great matchup for us.
I love where you said you like getting in the red zone. AJ and I used to always joke, and to start at 2 minutes, I go, can we just give them the ball on the 15-yard line?
Exactly.
Like, instead of wearing us down the whole way field, just give it on the 10. We'll give you 4 plays. We'll see if we can get the heck off the field at that point. The pitch was kind of obviously the play that changes everything. And, you hear defensive coach just keep playing. Well, they're on the 1. Well, they can move back.
Yeah.
And everybody criticized Sark. Like, why'd they run the pitch? Well, you guys have been so good on the inside. Was there something you guys saw when they came out formationally that thought maybe this was it? I know Caleb triggered fast.
Yeah, I mean, I think Coach Noel's really playing the odds there. And, they ran one up the middle. It didn't really work. And I don't blame the play calling either, really, on Texas' side, because, you don't want to just do the same thing twice and have the same result. So they thought they were going to get the edge. And, I mean, we have two of the best safeties in the country out there. So they just fly. They love contact. They love trying to go make plays. So, Lathan's never afraid to go and put his helmet on somebody. So, I mean, that was awesome plays by them.
There was a couple of times in the Oregon game, too. I mean, I thought they got close to the goal line. It was right before halftime where Lathan just flew through the air for like 6 yards and cracked someone. I'm like, all right, that's a different story right here. When you guys got together, because we got a chance to talk to you, obviously, before the season started. And I know it was an ultimate goal. You guys got together. Jack kind of led the way. He said that you'll be back as well. These conversations.
I had to talk Cody into coming back. He was trying to leave.
What did you say? Like, I'm not going anywhere, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, it wasn't everyone has their goals and their plans, and I mean, I was probably one of the earlier ones because I mean, it wasn't too many other options, but I still had to think about it, and I mean, he did talk me down and talk to Lauren Ice and everything, but I mean, this is it's the ultimate reason you want to win. You want to come back because holding up that big trophy is worth all the hard work, all the hours, everything.
So I know that those conversations happened, that you guys wanted to reach your ultimate goal in becoming national champions. The way that this season ultimately unfolded to get to the end the way that you did, could you see it unfolding in the incredible story that it actually did?
I mean, I wouldn't have thought this is how the season would have gone. I mean, we have the other goals too that we wanted to accomplish. We wanted to win everything. But I mean, I wouldn't have had any other way now that it's here, because I mean I think we wouldn't have won if we didn't go through those moments of trouble, and those, like, I don't think we go on this huge run. I think we played inspired football, and that's what we wanted to play this entire time. That's what the seniors wanted to come back, because we're playing for each other. We're not playing to be the number one pick in the draft. Like, it's all a result of us playing together and us having fun and us, really taking this last ride together, because, we all benefited from just being brothers and playing together. And I think that was the main goal of coming back, is all of us can play together for one last season. And, I really felt that passion and that love for each other through this playoff, because it was just, let's get one more week together. Like, let's just play one more week together. Like, we'll never be able to be a part of this team after these 4 weeks. So, I felt like the brotherhood really stayed strong through there.
All right. You've got a remarkable career arc of everything that happened with you. I want to talk a little bit about that, a little bit about your relationship with Ryan and everything going on there. We got to take a quick break, but we'll get into that. More with Cody Simon coming up here next on 97.1 The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
The Friday drive is slow. We've got an accident on the north side that's caused the closure of I-71 southbound Cook Road to North Broadway. Also an accident on the west outer belt, I-270 southbound at Roberts Road. Your 2 left lanes are blocked, and that'll have you on the brakes from Cemetery Road. Also on the north side, I-71 southbound at Hudson Street. There's an accident in the left lane, and you're stop and go because of a crash on US 33 westbound at Gender Road. The left lane is blocked. I'm Heather Pasco for 97.1, The Fan Traffic.
Men, the new year is here, and if you're like many of us, you're going to make a resolution to improve your health. But if you're feeling sluggish and low energy, if your sleep patterns are off, if you've been working out and aren't seeing the gains you used to see, making that resolution may not be so easy. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and if you're feeling the way I just described, we can likely help you with that resolution, because those symptoms probably mean you're suffering with low testosterone. And at Tri-State Men's Health, we're experts in treating this condition. With our low T protocols, if you're like most men, the change will astound you. You'll feel more energy and better mental clarity, your sleep will improve, your workouts will be better, and you'll likely find your sex drive goes up as well. So call us today and get treated for your low T. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. That's tristatemenshealth.com. Tri-State Men's Health, a Promenic restorative health practice.
Ready to hit the road in a new car? With Pathways, enjoy up to 90 days with no payments and low auto loan rates. Learn more at pathwayscu.com. Pathways Financial Credit Union, your true financial partner. Federally insured by NCUA.
Hey Ohio, Prime Sports has arrived. The only book where you can lay 108 instead of 110 on all your favorite teams. Football, baseball, basketball, hockey, you name it. Why would you risk more to win the same amount at another sports book? Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com. Use promo code JUSTSPORTS. Get a welcome bonus up to $100 and be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 or older and present in Ohio. If you or anyone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey friends, Beamer here. I want to tell you about my new obsession. It's the Daisy French onion dip. One of my guilty pleasures, I'm sure you have it too, during the football season, is eating dips. Sometimes with chips, wings, veggies, whatever you want to dip in there. And now Daisy, they've come out with a Daisy French onion dip and a Daisy Ranch dip. And these are a total game changer. They're just as good as homemade dips, if not even better. They've got real herbs and spices and ingredients you'd even find in your own kitchen. I invite you to try the Daisy French onion dip. I'm a big French onion guy. That's my favorite. You can look for Daisy French onion dip at a grocery store near you.
Master Grillers Unite. The grilling season never ends at Billiards Plus. Come see their best-in-class grills for yourself and check out Central Ohio's largest selection of pool tables, game furniture, and shuffleboard. Family-owned and operated. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Welcome to Nada Yada Island.
Next on Metro's Nada Yada Island podcast.
I almost fainted when the 4 new bombshells arrived. 4 free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G phones at Metro.
No way.
And finding out the 4th line is free. Oh, things got heated.
That's wild. Join Metro and get 4 free Samsung 5G phones. Only at Metro.
Plus tax. Bring 4 numbers and an ID and sign up for any Metro Flex plan. Not available currently at T-Mobile or been with Metro in the past 180 days.
Rockman and Ice.
There were some 50, 60-year-old people there that were boo. I was like,
sure they weren't saying Lou?
No. It was heavy booze.
Rockman and Ice. Weekdays at noon.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus.
The Fan.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. And procrastination, it's the thief of time. Do you really want to head into the new year with the same old joint pain, the stuff that's been bothering you all the way through this last year and probably many prior years? Make the decision now to say no. I'm going to get it fixed, and I'm going to get moving again in 2025 with the help from my friends at QC Kinetics. See, they're the leaders in regenerative medicine and joint preservation. They're located right here in Columbus, Ohio, under the leadership of Dr. Ray Tesner, the founder of Grant Sports Medicine and a classically trained orthopedic surgeon. He's going to help you revitalize your joints with advanced orthobiologic treatments at QC Kinetics, things like PRP, so you don't have to have surgery. There's no drugs. There's no downtime. It's the future of medicine. Tens of thousands of people already know about it, so don't wait any longer. Go give them a call at 380-208-4544 for your free consultation. That's 380-208-4544. They have offices in Dublin and Gahanna, so they're conveniently located all through Central Ohio.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Good morning. It is cold out there yet again today as temperatures are sitting in the teens. Wind chills close to 0 this morning. Today, look for partly to mostly cloudy skies with a high of 22. Tonight, look for a nighttime low of 11. On Saturday, look for mostly cloudy skies, high of 35. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 weather impact forecasts on 97.1 The Fan.
FanDuel is the exclusive online sportsbook partner of Morning Juice. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/juice. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
A radio show hosted by 2 former football players, one slightly more successful than the other. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Blocko recipient, captain, national champion Cody Simon is in with us. So you guys have the championship celebration coming up on Sunday. Are you going to grab the microphone and talk in front of the fans on Sunday?
He's walk up.
I know he is. I know he is. But Bob and I were talking a little bit earlier that if Jack gets up on the microphone, the over-under has been set at 0.5 for swear words to come out of his mouth.
Definitely. I think that's a smashing the over there.
I'm glad you said that. Rothman is in the afternoon. He's like, I don't know. I'm like, you serious? Like,
but the fans would love it, though. I mean, he should.
That's it, Jack. I mean, just be who you are at this point. And
why don't you upset the crowd and you do it, Cody? You get ahead of it.
His mom will get on him.
Yeah, that'll hurt her brand.
That'll hurt her brand. Oh, it's tremendous. As we talk to our guy Cody Simon here, and I got a chance. I always like to reference this and like help and recruit some of the guys. And meeting with you back on Neal underneath the academic building, getting breakfast, lunch 5.5 years ago. Seemed like an eternity away from now. And you look at your career, and it may not have necessarily gone the way that you would have liked. Everyone comes in, I'll sit for a year, play as a sophomore, junior, maybe leave, come back. And you play your 5 years, and you get to start last year in relief of Tommy and Steele, and they worked you in. You played a good amount, but really first full year as a starter, and talk about some of the times, I'm sure, over the last 4 years where you didn't know if you were ever going to get to this point.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely wasn't the ideal track. But, I grew – I love Columbus, and I love the area. And, I mean, it was never a question for me to leave here. But I enjoyed the people I grinded with every day. Like, I loved that camaraderie we had. And, Tommy's one of my best friends, and I learned so much from him. And a large part of the season this year was just going off what I've watched him do and how and operating how he did, and taking that process of watching film and getting ready for games. And I just wanted to be more of a sponge throughout this entire 5 years, really.
You're a guy that always learns. You're always watching, observing, and Mitch Melton, you guys roomed together, correct? Early on,
yeah.
I mean, he called you Cobot, because he said because he said you need to loosen up a little bit. But it seemed this last year, the leadership role that you had, you're thrust into a position where you've got to be more of the guy and do more of the talking.
Yeah, no, and that was
you did a better job than Tommy.
No, he was good, but that was the biggest thing for me. I felt like that was the part that I lacked. I needed to be more of a leader and more of a person for people to look forward to and to guide them through their process. And, I think I did an okay job this year, and I could always get better. And, I just wanted to inspire and bring together that competitive spirit for our team.
And when I say better job talking, Tommy, great leader.
Oh, yeah.
not the big talker, obviously.
When you're trying to do that, though, and you are in the leadership position that you are, is that a self-reflective thing? Is that leaning on James? Is that Coach Ryan Day? Like, how does that come out of you?
Yeah, I think it's all of that. I mean, I also had to understand the moment and understand that, for a defense to be good or for a team to be good, the linebacker has to be a part of the leadership and part of that group. I think I've been trying to push at it for my entire career here, and it's easier to do that when you can make plays on the field and people can watch you do it because they can trust you and they can do all that. But I think I wanted to earn all that trust in the offseason, and it was a very tough and like grind heavy offseason for us, and I think that's what kind of built our foundation for the team. And I think I've earned the trust through the offseason for my teammates, and I think that's ultimately what allows guys to go play fast and confident because they know that the guy next to them is going to do his job, and I think that's what really led to our success.
Ryan Day, I've heard a lot of guys talk about their relationship with him, and I've been on the sideline for the last 3 national titles, once as a player and the last 2 as an observer. I've never seen players lean into their coach like that. I mean, what does that relationship mean to you? What does he represent? I mean, how has that grown over this year even?
Yeah. I mean, he's a great story of overcoming adversity. I mean, things did not go the way we wanted it to during this regular season. It's just called how it is. It wasn't the way we wanted to end. And, I don't know one person who's stuck with our team this entire time within the Woody who had lost faith, lost any kind of trust or any kind of, like love for Coach Day, because we knew the work he put in. It was a bad day for our team, bad day for Columbus. I mean, it was just a bad day, but our faith and our trust in him always stayed strong. And I mean, I know the work he puts in. There's some days I walk into the Woody and his eyes are bloodshot, and he's just clicking watching film. And he's always trying to get better. He's trying to find that inch to make us champions. Like, he really wants that success for us. And I think in turn, like, us winning, it kind of felt like we were doing it for him. Like he's gone through so much his tenure here, and I'm just happy for him and his family that they can, rejoice with this kind of win. And I mean, I thank him because he took a chance on all of us, and it didn't have to end up like this. We didn't have to come to Ohio State, but he was the one who really believed in us, and it all worked out really for him. And in the end here,
was there a feeling of vindication when the clock hit 0 on Monday in Atlanta?
100%. I mean, you could say no. This is just one playoff run itself, but I mean, everything that we've gone through and the story that's going to get told about this story, about this team is, just about overcoming adversity and all the challenges we've faced along the road, and all the things that were said, and being able to hoist a trophy, it makes it all go away, I guess.
Tell me about that first drive against Notre Dame. 18 plays, nearly 10 minutes. Any defensive player, I'm standing over there, and Raekwon McMillan, Tyquan Lewis, Chase Young, Von Bell. There's a ton of guys that are over there, and we're all talking. And I mean, it's 1, 2, 3 first, 1, 2, 3, 4 first. Like 18, I'm like, oh my gosh. And you look at the clock, and I'm like, this is a beating. And I'm like, if we don't get a first down, I'm like, they're gonna have to head back out there. And that's when Lathan's like, you hear punt ready, and it's like, oh no, this is bad. This is really bad. Like, I mean, I always like that first series, like get on, get off, because I'm always exhausted. You're like juiced up, and then you kind of settle in and feel good. Like, you guys had to be beat down by about play 10 or 11.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was probably the most tired I've ever been in my career. But they were tired too, and I think that was the biggest thing. I think they maybe ran him a little bit too much, and he was feeling that. He was feeling that pain, or that exhaustion too. But
they said he threw up after that drive on the sideline.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. But when we came off to the sideline, it was more just like, all right, like settle in, like we're good, like it's not a. And actually, I talked to Coach Mick about this a couple times actually. The 2014 national championship team, and they played Oregon.
Oregon drove down and scored.
That first drive, he said their defense came to the sideline and were like, they couldn't even stand up. They were so exhausted. Oregon ran a play every 16 seconds. And it worked out the same exact way, where it was just, we're good, settle in, here's a few changes, let's go, and let's get ready to go back out there. And, I mean, I love our offense so much, because you go up, punt ready, and you got to go up to get ready to know your plan, and you just walk over, and then you just walk back. They're throwing it to JJ or Trey or Trinshawn is making a huge play. So it's a great feeling to have Chip Kelly in the offense on our side.
So we've asked everyone this question since Monday's game. When that ball is in the air on 3rd and 11 on the completion to Jeremiah, what's going through your mind? Because it was getting a little bit dicey there.
Yes, and I was getting ready for punt too, and I'm sitting there like, summit, like, I don't know what they're running right here, but do something. And they throw that ball, and I mean, I'm like, I felt like there was no breath in my air, in my lungs when the ball was in the air, and you see him running like kind of by himself. I'm like, oh Lord, like this is it right here. And I mean, that was the best feeling ever. But the other thing was that we needed to go make a field goal, and we're sitting there like heart pounding. And but I mean, it was an awesome moment. I mean, that was one of the greatest moments really at 3rd and 11. So, I'm so happy for JJ and our teammates and everyone who was involved in that play, because I mean, that's the championship winning play right there.
How good that feel for Fielding to get the final field goal and finish that off? I mean, the redemption maybe a little bit.
Yeah, no, I felt awesome. I mean, especially for him, and I was. We were saying on the sideline that, Coach J, do not go talk to him. Like, don't go say anything to him. Just let him do his thing. But no, he's a great kicker, and we've been putting him in situations like that all practice. And he's stepped forward, and he really made that like he did that stuff in practice, and he built his own confidence. And so I'm just really happy that he did that for us and for himself, because it's ultimate win right there for Jaden.
Before we get you out of here, I think the last time that we had talked to you, whether it was in the early summer or late summer, getting ready for fall camp, you were going to go in, you were going to get a lift, you were going to get some recovery in. What's the next few days look like for you leading into the championship celebration on Sunday? And then afterwards, I know that Bob said you guys are scattering all over the country as you guys get ready for the next level.
Yeah. Next step is I still got to go to get some treatment, and then
Dr. Stu.
Yeah, and I got to get like official things about everything that's wrong with me, I guess. So we'll go see how that goes, and I think I'm going to go to my girlfriend's job and go say hi to some of her coworkers.
Be the hero. Walk on in. It's good.
But then I think we get to go design some rings, so I think that'll be
fun,
nice.
dude.
So just kind of take it one step at a time.
Here's the good news. Your folder is going to be significantly lighter than Lathan's. So you have that to look forward to. Your injury profile.
That is very true. I'm sorry for him, but yeah, that is very true.
Cody, we appreciate the time. Can't tell you how much we have enjoyed this. I know everybody else has as well. Best of luck. It's everything good coming your way. You guys deserve it. And a big congratulations again on winning the national championship.
Thank you, man. Go Bucks.
Yeah, there he goes. Cody Simon with us here in studio. Unbelievable story. From one linebacker to another, AJ Hawk. He joins us here in 2 minutes. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
I'm keeping an eye on a number of delays. So on the north side, I-71 southbound still closed, Cook Road to north of Broadway. Also watch for accidents on the north side, I-71 northbound at North Broadway. That blocks your left lane. The downtown split westbound before 71. The right lane is blocked, and that is causing some stop-and-go delays as well. Also, on the west outer belt, southbound at Roberts Road, the two left lanes are blocked by a crash. I'm Heather Pasco for 97.1, The Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Prime Sports. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit primesportsbook.com and use promo code JUSTSPORTS for a welcome bonus of up to $100.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time. The next time you're out to dinner with friends, you can order the shrimp cocktail for the table. And maybe you'll realize it only comes with 4 shrimp after you've already given away 3, but that one shrimp will be so good. And if you switch and save hundreds, you could get shrimp all the time. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time. For shrimp. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Something amazing is happening in data management. Even though storage needs are constantly changing, companies are only paying for what they need now. That's because CDW customized a Pure Storage Evergreen One SLA-driven storage as a service solution that delivers enterprise-grade hybrid cloud storage that is effortless, efficient, and evergreen. Simplify storage administration with Pure Storage and CDW. Make amazing happen. Find out more at cdw.com/purestorage.
Replace your furnace with Logan AC and Heat Services. Get a free Trane furnace with the purchase of an air conditioner and 0% APR financing for 72 months. Get a free indoor air quality product when you schedule your installation by the end of the month. We offer a system for every home and every budget. And with same-day estimates and next-day installation, it's hard to stop a Trane. Schedule your free estimate now and get fast, friendly service from Logan Services.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Fast, sustainable weight loss without medication. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Heading to work? Keep listening to the guys at the office.
Stream the show at 971thefan.com or download the Fan app.
This is Morning Juice.
From one linebacker to another, every single Friday, we get to check in with our guy.
A man with many career achievements. Leading tackler in Centerville football history. Leading tackler in Green Bay Packers history. Still afraid of Larry Knopfsinger. And the crowning achievement, the third member of the Island Boys, AJ Hawk.
Sponsored by FanDuel, the exclusive online sportsbook partner of Morning Juice. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/juice.
Turn my microphone off. We head out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Checking with our guy. He is AJ Hawk. AJ, happy Friday to you. We just had Cody Simon in here playing in those 4 games all the way through the playoffs. You were tracking them. I can't imagine how tired you were. Your travel was crazy this past month, buddy.
Yeah, sure. I was lucky there to get to go to all 4 of these playoff games. I'd have walked there if I had to. It was awesome. But yeah, I heard the tail end of Cody. man, what an awesome career that dude had, and what a way to finish it this whole last year he's had. He is big, he can hit, and that dude can run. So I think he's going to have an awesome career at the next level.
Well, and it's great, and you played with a guy that I always had a similar career arc. You come to Ohio State, and you and I, we got to play early as sophomores, played some as freshmen, and Cody got here, was in COVID, didn't play much early on, and he's behind really good players. Started some last year, and then they worked him in, with Tommy and Steele, but this is really his first year as a starter. I always tell people, like, if they haven't played much, the story of Will Allen, who's, Wayne guy, safety behind Dawson, Nicky, really just started his senior year and then played like 13, 14 years in the league, was an All-American his senior year and a great player, and trying to tell those guys, like, everybody's got a different path. Like, it doesn't mean just because you haven't played that you're not going to be a great player.
Yeah, exactly right. That's the thing. I'm sure that's probably harder and harder to see now with how much movement there is in college football and people bouncing around if they don't get their opportunity. But, yeah, you never know. Like, you never know when that opportunity is going to come. That's why you just got to make sure, I guess, you're working, and whenever it happens, you're ready for that moment. And, man, like, all year long, I feel like Cody was an absolute monster and just a huge piece of that defense.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome, AJ. You were down there on Monday. Obviously, you got to watch every Buckeye game in the playoff. You guys doing some coverage of them. I mean, it looked like an electric atmosphere on TV. It sounded like it here on the radio. Bob talked about how it was pretty good. I mean, you were right down in the snake pit on Monday night. How was that for you? How was the atmosphere down in Atlanta?
Man, it was awesome. Like, walking out during warm-ups, there's probably like an hour, 45 minutes to kick off. Just walking out and hearing everybody, the fans were juiced, like, both sides, Ohio State and Notre Dame. Everyone was ready to roll, and it was fun to see, like, just the anticipation everybody had leading up to it. It was a long day, I think, getting ready for it. It's windy and cold down there in Atlanta. So once everyone was in the stadium, it was like, all right, let's go. Let's get this thing kicked off. Let's start playing. I almost felt like a player where I was looking at the clock, and I used to hate warm-ups. Like, warm-ups were just annoying to me. I was like, let's just get this game going. Let's start this game. I'm ready to go. And that's actually how I felt as a fan working at the game on Monday night.
Did you have that same feeling? Because I think we talked about, was it the Texas game or Oregon game, Tennessee? I'm not sure. You did all of them. I think it was the Texas game where you said, look at Jack Sawyer and the way that he's getting these guys together. Like, you knew that they were going to win even before the game. Did you have that same feeling on Monday when they were getting ready?
Yeah, I felt pretty good about it. And that started the Tennessee game, really, when I just felt like it just felt something was, I don't know if it was different, it just felt good about how the boys were, how they their confidence, and not like a weird ego thing, like a just straight confident team that felt like they were together. And that started, I think, out there at warm-ups in that Tennessee game in the freezing cold, and I think that continued pregame and during the game for the rest of the playoffs. And I definitely felt that way Monday, even though I know Notre Dame, man, Marcus did a heck of a job. I feel like those guys coming back and making that a game too was impressive, and Notre Dame's going to be good for a long time, and I give a ton of credit to Marcus.
I mean, did you convert Pat to a Buckeye fan during that run? I mean, it seemed like he was all in by the finals.
Oh yeah, I didn't have to. He knows how special Ohio State is and how awesome it is. I guess what he picked against us, the Oregon game, I believe he did. But he even told me shortly after he did, he's like, I don't think I feel good about this. I don't think I feel good about this pick going against him, because he knows, like, he's gotten a great big dose of Ohio State and the fans and the team, I think, over the last couple of years, and he definitely respects them and knows that they're not messing around. I think this year was awesome for all of us to get out there and, like you said, make that. What a 4-game run! What a tough 4-game stretch you have to play very, very well for a month straight, basically, to win it all.
I mean, it was incredible, especially too after the way the game started. AJ, I mean, what was it? 18 plays, 9 minutes and 45 seconds, almost the entire first quarter killed off, and then they punch it in to the end zone. I mean, would you have been able to handle something like that either now or in your current life as a destroyer of offenses?
Man, it would have been tough. Like, watching that drive happen, like, that was obviously the most ideal way Notre Dame could start the game. I mean, 18 plays, it's nuts, but guys were gassed all over the place. Like, think of all the adrenaline, everything, all the anticipation, and then they go on this 18-play drive. I think guys on both sides of the ball, they were they definitely were winded by the end of that drive. But I knew, like, okay, the first drive is always very telling, but it doesn't always tell, like, the story of the game. Like, it takes time sometimes defensively, I think, to settle in and to kind of find your rhythm. And obviously, I think the next drive we figured that out.
Absolutely. What now that that's done, I mean, what do we got? You and Pat going to, like, NFL stuff? I mean, are you done traveling for a while?
Yeah, I'm done traveling for right now. We'll go out to the Super Bowl week. I don't know how many days we'll be out there. I'm not going to the game, but I'll go down there to New Orleans for the Radio Row situation.
They dig out of the snow before that.
Yeah, no. Hopefully they figure that out. That needs to get taken care of before I get down there. But no, once the college games are over, that's it for us when it comes to, like, the sideline pass type, whatever, alternate broadcast. But yeah, it's weird that college football is over for the year and the NFL is coming to a close. So we need to enjoy these last couple we have.
Did you have a favorite stop along this playoff run?
Oh boy, special. The Rose Bowl's awesome, and especially how they just jumped and never look back. That was an awesome trip. But I mean, the first game, Tennessee in the cold at home, that was awesome. Like, looking back, it feels like that was 2 years ago, but looking back on it now, I mean, I talked to Bob on the sideline there multiple times in throughout the game. Like, that was awesome, especially for the first time for a playoff game to be there and all that stuff. When I think about it, like, that set the tone for what this team, I think, would do moving forward. And I think it was a huge pivotal, confidence builder for the players, coaches, and fans alike.
So, Age, I mean, I know you're a lover of all things adult. Columbus, I mean, I know you talked about, Vanity, the old Pure Platinum. I don't know about what's going on at the Rose Bowl. You said the places, the cabarets in Dallas were legendary. You loved the wings at Magic City. I mean, did you have a favorite stop along the way?
In Atlanta?
Yeah, why not? Is that it? The wings?
I have heard the lemon pepper wings I've heard a lot about from this Magic City. I had not stepped in there. They said they rivaled Cahoots back in the day. So that's all I heard. I was like, man, that must be really good food. But Atlanta was fun. I heard, Atlanta was cold, Bob. That was cold for Ohio people, not just like Southern people. That was cold and windy. But there was still, like, right outside the hotel I was at was, like, the whole setup outside the stadium, and they had music going all day. I believe Kane Brown was singing, and I give this dude credit. He's performing in winter gloves, a hat, coat, and fans and people were there. They were cheering for him out in the cold and wind. But, it was a nice little host city. That stadium's like a big old spaceship, too. It's pretty cool.
Did they accept at Magic City your Diamonds Platinum card? Because Michael Bennett said that they accepted his. Your status carries over.
Well, I had my Buck ID, Bob, that I used to buy little chicken gyros with on the, in between classes from the little guy in the cart.
Why do you say it like that? Gyros? You can't. That's not real. That's not the way you say that, is it?
What do you call it? A hero?
Yeah, euro. Yeah, euro. I think the G is silent.
I'm very basic and simple. It's spelled Gyro. I'm saying gyro.
How do you say lasagna? There's a G in that too. I didn't know if you pronounced that. I wasn't sure.
You know what? Actually, from here on, I'm going to start pronouncing that G. Thank you. I need to.
Buddy, always appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us here this morning. Have a great weekend. We'll check in again soon, all right?
All right, thanks, guys.
There you go. AJ Hawk with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Championship weekend NFL picks. Hey, I just wanted to know. NFL picks next. Morning Juice right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
We've got some pretty big delays on the area roads today on the West Outer Belt, southbound at Roberts Road. The two left lanes are blocked by an accident. Also on the north side, I-71 northbound at North Broadway. There's a crash in the left lane. On I-71 southbound between Cook and North Broadway, it's a crash in the right lane. Also, be aware of an accident on the east side on I-70 westbound before I-270. It's been moved to the shoulder. I'm Heather Pasco for 97.1, The Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Great Lakes Kia. Take the winning drive to Great Lakes Kia. Great cars, great people. Great Lakes Kia. Visit GreatLakesKia.com.
Are you heading into the new year with that same old joint pain in your knees, your back, your hips, your shoulder? Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Don't wait any longer. Make the decision to say no. I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm going to get this fixed in 2025 with the help from my friends at QC Kinetics. The nation's leader in regenerative medicine and joint preservation are right here in Columbus under the leadership of Dr. Ray Tesner, founder of Grant's Sport Medicine and classically trained orthopedic surgeon. He'll explain how it can revitalize your joints with advanced orthobiologic treatments right here at QC Kinetics. There's no steroids, no surgery, no drugs, no downtime. The future of medicine is using your own natural solutions like PRP to attack the pain from arthritis. They've got it all there, so learn what thousands of others have done. Call QC Kinetics today for a free consultation and get that joint pain out the window in 2024. Call 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. They have offices in Dublin and Gahanna.
Hey, Ohio, Prime Sports has arrived. The only book where you can lay 108 instead of 110 on all your favorite teams. Football, baseball, basketball, hockey, you name it. Why would you risk more to win the same amount at another sports book? Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com. Use promo code JUSTSPORTS. Get a welcome bonus up to $100 and be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 or older and present in Ohio. If you or anyone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Incarceration, America's rock, metal, and tattoo festival with Slipknot. Falling in Reverse. 5 Finger Death Punch. Plus Marilyn Manson, 3 Days Grace, Beartooth, Knocked Loose, Lamb of God, Parkway Drive, I Prevail, In This Moment, and so many more. Report to the Ohio State Reformatory on July 18th through 20th, 2025 to face your sentencing. 3 days of rock, tattoos, and the return of the Haunted Blood Prison. Passes for incarceration are on sale now at incarceration.com.
Congratulations, Ohio State, national champions! Get to Dick's for a huge selection of officially licensed Ohio State gear, including hats, t-shirts, hoodies, and more for men, women, and kids. New championship merchandise is arriving daily. Shop in-store or online at Dicks.com with free shipping on championship product. We have everything you need to show off your team pride. Every season starts at Dick's.
Welcome to Nada Yada Island.
Next on Metro's Nada Yada Island podcast.
I almost fainted when the 4 new bombshells arrived. 4 free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G phones at Metro.
No way.
And finding out the 4th line is free. Oh, things got heated.
That's wild. Join Metro and get 4 free Samsung 5G phones. Only at Metro.
Plus tax. Bring 4 numbers and an ID and sign up for any Metro Flex plan. Not available currently at T-Mobile or been with Metro in the past 180 days.
Did you know we have another station? More Buckeyes, more play-by-play, more everything.
Set your second preset to AM 1460 or 97.1 FM HD2 or listen on the Fan app.
Your home for almost too much football. The Fan.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Being young with unlimited energy to burn. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think you could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text GRIT to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text GRIT to 42424. That's GRIT to 42424.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Keep on swiping that card, baby. Keep on swiping that card. Charge it to winning. This is Morning Juice.
Make 2025 your year, just like the Buckeyes, and finally feel like yourself again. Don't just set the goals. Get medical support to help achieve them. Yeah, that's my friends at Affinity Whole Health. They're experts in GLP-1s, the semaglutide, tirzepatide for weight loss, testosterone replacement therapy. How about this? Bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. I know a hell of a lot about a lot of stuff, and I had to research that to figure out what it was. They can get it taken care of for you. More energy, better mood, increased muscle. That's the TRT. If you want GLPs, lose weight, Keep it off with Affinity. They're going to go in. You go to affinitywealth.com or feelgreatcolumbus.com. If you're here locally, Poof David Copperfield, you get your consultation, and they're going to ship the stuff after they detail a plan just for you right to your door. It'll be there in 2 days. So go to feelgreatcolumbus.com. That's feelgreatcolumbus.com.
Before we get out of here, had to make room for this. Football Friday. Buckeyes winning a championship on Monday. It is also championship weekend in the National Football League. 3 o'clock Sunday afternoon.
I'm taking the Bills with the Buckeyes in my heart.
The Washington Commanders visit the Philadelphia Eagles in an NFC East battle. And then 6:30, right in the sweet spot. I'm sure that TV number is going to be small. It is the Buffalo Bills traveling to Arrowhead to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. What is on the line? A trip to the Super Bowl down in New Orleans in a couple of weeks' time. Sharky!
Yes! Last week, you both split the 4 games, 2-2. So 3 games left in the season, and Beamer has a 15-game lead over Bobby. By the way, if you're out driving around on Sunday, we're carrying both those games.
Doubleheader for us.
Right here on the
After
fan.
the championship celebration.
2 tips.
Or you can turn down your TV and turn us up and listen to, I don't know, Kevin Hart.
There was a song that said, turn the radio up for that sweet sound.
There was a traffic reporter here that once said...
Eric Carmen.
Good job.
She said, turn your radios down and make sure you're listening for the cars behind you because it's foggy out. So I don't know how great of advice that is.
Spider-Man, like you can hear the cars.
All right, let's start with the 3 o'clock game. It's the NFC Championship game. The Eagles at home. Now, this is an NFC East battle, so obviously these teams have already met twice this season, but the Commies are getting 6.5 on the road at Philadelphia.
It's a battle between what do I want to do and what I think is going to happen here. It's the head versus the heart.
Give me the points.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think this is going to be close.
I think the Commies might be the team of destiny. I think they might do it.
Win outright?
Strike down your father and fulfill your destiny.
Yeah, I think they might. I think they might do it. Beginning of the season, I thought the Commanders would be better than people thought. I didn't see them having this kind of a season, but now you're here. Just go for it. Do it. Terry McLaurin's been the best wide receiver in the NFL playoffs, and it really hasn't even been close. Give me those points. I'll take the Commies.
You got them. Nice.
Hopefully Tim doesn't get assaulted when he goes to Philadelphia this weekend.
I think the Commies were 4-13 a year ago. It's amazing they're in the NFC Championship game. Maybe you saw that, Beam. I did not see that coming. And
I didn't see this. I thought maybe they could hang out in a playoff spot for a while. But
I heard people saying Kevin O'Connell's got to win Coach of the Year. I think it's got to be Dan Quinn. Go from 4-13 to possibly the Super Bowl. That's a pretty good job. All right, in the nightcap, 6:30, the AFC Championship game. Of course, it's in Kansas City again. Of course, they're playing the Bills, and Buffalo is a 1.5-point dog on the road.
Give me the points.
Yeah, I got to go with the points, too. I'm unwilling to commit to the Commanders winning that game outright. I am willing to commit to the Buffalo Bills going to Arrowhead and winning outright.
I think that the Bills, all the noise around Mahomes this week, I don't think he's going to get the same calls. If he does all that, there's been such an outcry, dude, you can't just dance around and when someone's going to tackle you.
Think it's going to go opposite field?
Yeah, you drop to the ground and oh, penalty. Because people don't like that. It's bad ball.
I don't like that.
I like it. I like the Bills.
Wrong team favorite. Bills. I know Phil in the chat. He's a big Eagles fan. I
think it's going to be close. I just think they pull it out.
I want a Commanders-Bills Super Bowl. I don't want an Eagles-Chiefs Super Bowl. It's pretty simple.
I wanted a Lions-Bills Super Bowl, but...
Yeah, that would have been fun, too.
That's not happening.
I would have been okay with that. I would have been okay with the Rams, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Something about Philly. I liked him a couple of years ago. Nick Sirianni, not my guy. I don't really want to see him win any more games.
He's a weirdo.
Is there anything wrong with that?
He's a weirdo.
Yeah, I know he is.
Just because he's a winner, that doesn't make him normal.
No, it doesn't. Jim Harbaugh's won a lot. He's a total weirdo.
By the way, I can't wait. AJ, I didn't even bring this up. We had so much to talk about. A lot of big linebacker hour.
By the way, too, you can always listen to the podcast wherever you get your podcast at. You can rewatch the YouTube show. We had Cody Simon in. It's a great half-an-hour conversation we had with him, and then AJ right on following that.
If you want to go back in the past and juxtapose it to when we had him on in the summer, look that up.
You can do that.
See how much better he's got after a year of interviews. And, just being the guy out there. He was always super nervous. He's like, I don't like doing this. I'm like, good. You're going to have to get up here and let's go.
Be comfortable in uncomfortable situations.
Practice. Yeah, and he did a great job. He's great dude, phenomenal guy, great family, and happy. But AJ, they played Dublin, the Dublin Middle School where they go. I think is it Eversole, I believe, where his daughter's at. They played Jones last night in basketball, so girls battle. So my daughter didn't play, but they went and watched. Laura and AJ. BQ was there down watching, and then we're going to be going to dinner on Saturday night, so that'll be an eventful time for sure.
That'll be great. It'll be fun. First open weekend in forever.
Lots of hijinks, lots of nonsense.
Yeah, man.
Tomfoolery, if you will.
It's going to be good. I don't know what I'm doing today. I got nothing planned today, and I got nothing planned tomorrow.
As Ryan Miller would tell me, I got nothing to do and all day to do it.
Yeah, that's it. That sounds pretty good, if we're being honest.
Will Meredith be upset if she comes back and you're drunk at 3 o'clock?
It's happened before. I don't see why she would be upset.
Before.
Yeah, that's fine. It's Friday. Who cares? There's no rules.
Billy's got Billy's got a saddle on Theo, just riding him around in the front yard.
Or Theo's got a saddle on William. Who knows?
Either way.
Yeah, no, it's going to be good, man. I'm excited
watching
about it.
Gladiator?
I'm watching Gladiator tonight. I'll probably have to rewatch it tomorrow at some point.
You're going to love it.
I don't know, but here's my thing. I don't know if we should watch the first one tonight and then
if Meredith
watch the
hasn't seen
second one tomorrow.
Have her watch the first one tonight. Watch them together.
By the way, how do you pronounce Gyro? How do you?
I used to say gyro because I was from Lancaster and I didn't know any Greek people. And the only time I ever got them was at the fair. And I was like, gyros.
Same.
And then my wife told me it's Euro, white trash. Like, say this correctly. Hillbilly. Say it Euro. And then this guy in the chat just told me he knew a dude who ran this place on campus that was Greek, and he called it Iro with just a silent G. So I don't
Euro.
I don't know. I mean,
I don't know.
I'm just common folk from Lancaster, Ohio, man.
Shark here from Ashland. How do you pronounce it?
Euro. Yes.
Okay.
All my life.
Looking forward to Jack Sawyer swearing during the celebration.
By the way, if you find any odds on that, hammer the over.
Cody Simon, I think, said to smash the over on that one. Rothman yesterday was trying to talk it off.
He's neurotic.
I don't think so.
He's neurotic.
Are you kidding me? Maddie said it at a half. I would set it at 2.5 and still take the over.
Maybe over that.
Yes.
If we're being honest, if you want a little bit better odds. Bob, I had so much fun with you this week. What do you say we reconvene on Monday if they allow us? Recapping what is it? Going to be a great celebration on Sunday over at the Horseshoe.
Can't wait.
Everybody have a fantastic weekend. Uncle Bo and the boys are up next. We're back live on Monday morning to break everything down. Have a good one. Talk to you then. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
The late morning drive has become a pretty slow one with a list of accidents out there. There's a crash on the west outer belt, southbound at Roberts Road, blocking the 2 left lanes. On the north side, on I-71, we've got a couple of problems. One northbound at North Broadway, another southbound between Cook and North Broadway. Also be aware of an accident on the east side on I-70 westbound before I-270. I'm Heather Pasco for 97.1, The Fan Traffic.
This is a Fan Action Update.
This Action Update is sponsored by Logan Services, a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. NFL Championship game lines for this weekend. The Eagles are a 6.5-point favorite over the Commanders. Washington plus 240 to pull off the upset. Chiefs are a small 1.5-point favorite over the Bills. Total for the game sitting at 47.5. For your Logan Services Action Update, I'm Scotty Vegas.
Playoffs? We're talking about playoffs? Yeah, you bet we are. Hey, it's Timmy Hall reminding you to get in on the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. You know scoring touchdowns is key to winning in the playoffs, and you can score big by betting on them at DraftKings, the #1 place to bet touchdowns. The only thing better than hitting on an anytime touchdown score is hitting on an anytime touchdown score in the playoffs. It just means more, baby. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code TheFan971. That's code TheFan971 for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. That's nice. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus. Ohio only. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after insurance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
Come cheer on the Ohio State Buckeyes men's basketball team as they take on the Iowa Hawkeyes on January 27th at the Shot. Don't miss out on themed games, unforgettable fan experiences, and the ultimate Buckeye traditions. Buy your tickets now at ohiostatebuckeyes.com.
Hey, can we talk? It's a new year and I need to move on. We had a great run, but you're old now. So I'm trading you in at Great Lakes Kia.
And new Kias are under $5 a day.
That's less than lunch.
Lease new Kia K4, K5, and Sorrentos. All three under $5 a day at Great Lakes Kia.
That's only $149 a month for 24 months.
Yes, new 25 Kia K5 LXS, K4 LXS, and Sorrento LX. Standard with third row seating. All three under $5 a day.
That Kia Sorrento is hot.
And we've got 0% financing.
But what if I'm not good enough for credit?
If you've got a job, you ride.
Under $5 a day.
Great cars, great people, Great Lakes Kia. GreatLakesKia.com. Want to take it for a test drive?
Oh, he needs to meet my parents first.
To qualified buyers, visit GreatLakesKia.com for details.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Adam Schefter here with Vivid Seats. We've got some late-breaking news coming out of the stands. According to multiple sources, Vivid Seats fans are scoring rewards on every purchase and at a rapid pace. Obviously, these rewards are a game changer, and coupled with their MVP-worthy ticket selection, why get tickets anywhere else? Don't drop the ball this season. Shop with Vivid Seats and earn rewards on every ticket. And as the official ticketing partner of ESPN, Vivid Seats is offering you $20 off your first $200 ticket purchase with code Schefter. That's code Schefter.
Finding the right employee for your company is tough. One wrong hire can be a major setback. You're not alone if you face this. A recent survey by Robert Half shows nearly half of hiring managers readily admit to making a bad hire. Luckily, there's a solution. With Robert Half's specialized recruiter's experience, combined with our award-winning AI, you can have the right skilled professional in place quickly. We understand what it takes to build winning teams because at Robert Half, we know talent. Discover how we can help at roberthalf.com/talent.